Oh boy, hang on. I need to address this window here. We can fix this.
I see half of us.
There we are. Yeah, the places of people's names and where they are is going to be a little fucked up, only because we're missing some people and Roll20 doesn't want to show me some video for some people, so sorry about that, everybody. But hello and welcome to Friday Night D&D. This is Wyrd and Wyld, session 102, Witchlight Hour. I'm Jaso the DM, and who else is joining me this beautiful Friday evening?
Hello, everybody. I am Bailey, and I will be playing Glacé, the androgynous Eidolon College of Glamour Bard.
Hey, it's Luke. I'm playing Aesop Kinku Alchemist and his alter ego Subject 22.
What's up? My name's Slim. I'll be playing Rinkaz, a lizard folk fighter, martial archetype of the gunslinger, and Sun Kong won't be with us, sadly.
Hey, I'm Sun Kong. Boy, I love to eat and hit things with the stick.
Be a good character change. Just be from the south. I'm Kong playing Foray Laredo. She's an arcane trickster that I've reskinned to be a tech wizard extraordinaire. And I'm also playing Kibo, the giant.
Gets me every time.
Hi everybody, I'm Nick. I play Invidi, a half-elf celestial tomelock, and I have the most phenomenal familiar of all time, a pseudo-dragon named Jira.
Thank you, everybody, and a big thank you to all of the people who are either going to be hanging out with us live or hanging out by watching the video on demand later. If you're hanging out with us live, I made all the stickers free, so slap them all over the screen. You guys have the stickers that are character specific. We don't have everybody, but we have Glacé and we have Aesop, and there's just a bunch of global stickers that you can slap all around, so have fun with that. I want to give a shout out to some of the followers from the previous week. Thank you to Nertz, Sora, and Jesse for following over the previous week. That's very nice of you guys. Thank you so much. And a big shout out to 8-Bit Ribbit, as always, for our beautiful character art. I really appreciate it. Everyone looks so cool. I remember getting that first image of a fully completed Glacé and was just like, this is going to be some hot shit right here. It was good stuff. So thank you very much. Go check her out either on her Twitter or her website, and that's just the number 8bitribbit.com. Thank you, Stray. Yeah, you can check that out in the chat there. As you guys are hanging out with us, you are building up Twitch channel points, and you can use those things to buy fun stuff. We have a whole host of fun things down in the bottom left of the chat, and a lot of it is interactive, specifically centered towards this stream here. So you can buy players a +1 to their rolls, you could give them a boon, you can buy them a extra inspiration on top of what they get normally for a session. So all kinds of fun rewards down there. If you build up enough points, you can name an NPC or even create your own companion. So a lot of fun stuff. Check that out. What's up, heroes? So yeah, take a look at that. We also have the stickers going on, and I changed it from being a panel below our stream to actually being embedded in our stream. So it should be over on the side if you just mouse over. And even if you're using mobile, under the chat area of the Twitch, if you have the app, there's a little purple heart, and you can use that to slap stickers everywhere. So have fun with that, and it's got some fun stuff in there. That even just the global ones that come standard with the stream stickers, it's a lot of fun. So check those out. And that is, as mentioned, unfortunately, Kevin is going to be out this session, so good luck, buddy. He just recently moved, so he's dealing with a lot of the cramps that come in with moving into a new place and getting set up and everything. So obviously an important thing, so we're gonna miss him, but he should be back next time. Until then, that's really all of my housekeeping. So I think, does everyone have inspiration from last session? Is anybody missing it? I think everybody's got one, right?
I think so.
Looks like it.
All right, cool. So, okay, with that in mind, why don't we roll to see who wants to give the recap from last week?
Oh, that's a
That's
Immune.
like tiny. That's a little tiny number.
Oh,
Hey, go to the Facebook page if you need notes.
ski. So, so they kind of end abruptly, but I got some notes. So, Foray here. So last time, all right. So we decided to just kick it on the beach for a while. You know, just hang out for a bit, get into some shenanigans, getting some beach party stuff. Class A passed out early. We drew some stuff on her face. Don't tell her it's still there. We waited for Infinity to heal up a little bit, and then we decided to go back into the ship and get down to some real business and decide the fate of the galaxy. Haha. Well, not yet. We will decide the fate of the galaxy. That's kind of what we decided, that not everybody else in the galaxy is really worth the title of saving the galaxy as much as us, so we decided to put ourselves up for decision makers number 1 through number, how many of us are there? 1 through 8 to be decision makers 1 through 8 on when we activate the Witchlight Marauders. After we all came to a 100% unanimous agreement that was the plan.
I recall it being completely unanimous with no discussion whatsoever. Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't have it in me to be sarcastic, you beautiful bird. We're not reading my notes so much as interpreting them, so I get lost. After that, we used the wibbledy wobbly teleporty thing, and we went to this beautiful room that looks like the end of the world. There we met with... Oh, it was a secret meeting spot, and we tried to ask them. They were clever. They didn't tell us.
It's the meeting place.
It's the meeting place. Turns out they've done this before, so it's kind of, somebody knows where it is. I mean, I'll bet every one of these people knows where it is, but they're just not telling us. They've decided the fate of the Wyrd before, and then Nerdy Gokyo told us that they have the Witchlight Marauder trapped in a time moon behind space magnifying glasses that'll zap anybody who tries to come and get them. A bosom there, she told us that there is a mole in the molehill, and that's why we were invited. We're invited to figure out who is not all that they seem to be. And we're a crack team of adventurers that always get the job done, so we're definitely the right people for the job.
We've never been fooled.
Ha-ha!
That's a succinct recap file. Thank you very much. You find a weird bit in your pockets. Thank you.
Ooh.
So yes, as you guys left off, you headed to the meeting room to dispense with a conversation along with the rest of the heads of the consortium factions of the entirety of the plane of the Twixt, to try to come to some terms in terms of what to do with the very last Witchlight Marauder, codenamed the Ultra-XWM, or Experimental Witchlight Marauder, seeing that these are sort of juiced up versions that were actually created by the genius based off of the remnants of the previous Witchlight Marauders that were used in a war that is outside of our campaign. So yes, during that conversation, it was revealed to you by Diedrich that he is actually the creator of a special sect, a branch of another faction that broken off and was determined to do what they can to stop the Peacekeepers, or the 10th Pit as you guys have learned their true names. And in doing so, he has kept that tradition going, and it appears as though the heads of each of the consortium factions, despite being the essential rulers and deciders in what happens in their realms, are also part of a secret group called the Eyes of Aurora, who are not only aware of the peacekeepers, but are doing what they can in attempts to stop them. But before the conversation could continue, Perennial Abloom of the Sacred Serenitals had mentioned to you all that part of the reason that you were brought here was to not only put in your 2 cents in terms of a decision for the Witchlight, but also to help them sniff out a traitor amongst their ranks. Someone that the Perennial believed to be not only leaking information to the peacekeepers, but also feeding the consortium faction with false information. And with that, she essentially put the ball in your guys' courts in terms of seeing what you could do. She even mentioned that she was unsure how deep the effect or influence from the peacekeepers would have on any of the consortium individuals, and even said that she would even consider herself as one who could potentially be a sleeper agent. So part of the reason that you guys have been brought is to hopefully find out which one of these is the true traitor. Afterwards, you guys can hopefully continue negotiations. So that is a good recap. The ball is in your court. What do you guys do as you sit in the meeting room, all seated at a stone table that is very large and seats each of you along with the consortium heads, and at the far end is Diedrich?
I have a question.
Sure.
So you're saying that the ultimate Witchlight Marauder, which is encapsulated in time at the moment, between a very technical, amazing machine, I might add, that it blows my mind that you were able to construct something that large. You're telling me that it is undestroyable at this moment in time.
Are you asking this to Gizobol?
Just the council in general.
Gizobol pipes up and says, "Yes, the original intention of the Witchlight were to be planet destroyers, largely on the surface layer. However, we were able to modify this Ultra-XWM so that it would have a core inside of its own that would be able to withstand the temperatures of the core of particular planets. It can even survive the hostile temperatures of many suns and stars.
Gotcha.
If there is a way to destroy it, we have yet to come across one."
Gotcha. And you're saying that the whole time you guys have had this thing kind of under lock and key just for safety, and you've been trying to examine and see what we've been doing and how we're linked to all of this as well.
For 8 or so months now, the Ultra-XWM has been in the final stages of its preparation, at least for us to have this conversation, hidden in the artificial moon of Beldam. And yes, we all were looking to keep an eye on you, seeing as we, the top members of each of our respective consortium factions, are part of the Eyes of Aurora, and wanted to ensure that you and your team of Wyld Tycoons were not affiliated with the Peacekeepers.
Well, this certainly solves a lot of pressing concerns that we had. We were worried it was going to be a hard case to convince you that the Peacekeepers even existed, let alone were a threat to the Twixt.
Aesop.
Yes?
Hey, Aesop.
Yes?
Did you hear the part where they lied to us for 8 months and they have a weapon that can destroy the entire Twixt and it's undestroyable?
Well, I mean, we knew all that already, though. I mean, we kind of made this bed and got into it. I mean, we knew for a while that they were keeping information from us. We just just happened to be information that is, well, it's convenient now that it's come to light, really. It could have been they were just all bringing us here to kill us. Aren't you glad that didn't happen?
Oh, I mean, at any point, I'm sure they could. It's not like we were paraded across the galaxy like a TV show. Also, while examining our
Paraded is a
intricacies.
strong word, don't you think? It was kind of fun.
Yeah. I would like to give a narrow-eyed glare across the entire council.
Speaking of TV show, Lushy, darling, what have you been up to?
Oh, you know, hiding away considering my position has been usurped.
And
Wait, who?
Did you have amnesia between the last time we spoke?
I want to do an insight check because I don't trust nobody! Does he seem like he is really honestly confused?
At
Or-
advantage.
Oh, at advantage?
He's wondering if you are confused.
Oh. That's a 9, but I have advantage, Jason. And that's a 12, so take that.
The way he is carrying himself, he is a little bemused at the fact that it seems as though you do not remember.
Oh. Okay. Can't be too careful.
sorry, what's the king's name? I can see Glimra, but
Glitz.
the king's Glitz. And Glimra, Glitz, you were both aware that Lushy was essentially replaced as a figurehead by an imposter.
Glimra looks and says, "That is a matter that we should speak on at some point during this meeting. Our faction, the Bastions, is largely compromised. We have tried to sabotage the true rulers. However, things have not gone in the way that we expected."
Well, that certainly seems to be the case from what we ran into.
Glitz and Glimra, were you the ones who had originally put Lushy up to the idea of our HoloVid series or show, or was that the council in general? Just out of curiosity.
That was all me, baby, Lushy says.
Lushy, you're, pardon my language, a gosh darn genius.
Oh, of course, but thank you.
Okay. So, the true rulers aren't Glimra and Glitz, then? The true rulers are something else?
The two of them look to one another and look back, and Glitz says, "The one with real power in the Bastion is a creature known as the Sheen. She
That snake lady.
helped us originally, but took advantage of us and has held us under her thumb since the very beginning."
Now, I wasn't there for that session. Is the Sheen a direct, minion of Gratz, or is she her own thing?
I think you were there, right? When you guys got turned into gold?
Wasn't there...
Yeah, it was very brief. It was...
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought it was the session I missed right before that. Okay.
No, I don't think it was.
Okay. Well, I guess same question. Do we remember, was she like a explicit minion of Gratz, or was she just like her own thing?
You guys were not sure. I don't think you guys were able to find out any information regarding that.
Yeah.
before we were turned into gold.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's not an equal footing encounter.
And she must be powerful enough for everyone to be afraid to stand against her. I mean,
It's more complicated than that. If we could have rooted her out, we would have done it since the beginning. But she made sure that between the two of us, that if we defied her, the Gilderkin family line, including any of our children, would be tortured in the abyss.
that's no fun.
Indeed, it
She's
isn't.
rooted herself and her quarry in the bastions and in Halcyon. Not completely, but enough to make pulling out the weeds difficult. If we are not careful, innocent lives are at stake. It's the only reason we haven't provided a full frontal assault to remove her and her kin.
Because of the lives of those of the Bastion.
Exactly. We care for our people, and if it means having to bend the knee to this creature to keep them safe, we were willing to do so and have.
Imagine if someone like her got a hold of the Witchlight Marauder. That doesn't seem very safe either.
I like our plan. Our plan didn't give them shit, and now I feel vindicated for it. Well, what is your opinion on the peacekeepers, then, Glimmer and Glitz?
They are an abomination. They are a small-knit group, but seem to have vast resources. They move at a pace that outspeeds most others, even largely the consortium itself, even though we are high-standing members with a prowess of our own. We worry about their effect here, not only in the Twixt, but the multiverse at large.
Have you ever heard of the Vespers?
Diedrich looks and says, yes.
Have they always been a part of the Peacekeepers?
I don't know. But I assume so.
What about the Scro in general? How did they become affiliated? Were they just hired, or what?
Expeditioner Alec speaks up. We're not sure what ties the Dark Trine may have to the Peacekeepers, though using them as a cudgel to make space lanes, trade, and the general communication between our factions more difficult is not out of the realm of possibilities.
Surely they wouldn't. Slavers are motivated by profit. If they knew the true extent of the Peacekeepers' plans, they wouldn't have gone along with it.
All the more reason, I suppose, if they were using them as a tool to keep them in the dark, provide them with the resources they need to meet their own ends, but nothing more than that. A possibility. The Peacekeepers, from what we know, seem to only give out the necessary information to individuals and leave quite a lot off the table for their own advantage and benefits.
Have you ever met with any of the Peacekeepers personally? Like, there's Leah,
Several
Alderman.
Leahs, I think.
Several Leahs, yes. Alderman. The one who recently attacked us, what was his name? Desmond? Is that right?
Alec looks off, his eyes kind of studying behind you all, and he snaps back and says, I know.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Like, was he does it look like he was like fighting against something, or that's a
Oh,
natural 20.
Oh, story crits! Story crits! Story crits!
That is a good girl card.
Yay! Let me grab one of these. Draw. All right. Let's see what this bad boy is. Ooh. Okay. Cool.
Glace, you notice something so subtle, something that Alec is trained to almost keep hidden, is any sense of emotion, considering that he has to probably deal with troops and stay in command and stay confident and in control. But over on the left side of his brow, hidden under a few bangs pulled back behind his ear, is a bead of sweat. He is absolutely lying. Although with a natural 20, you're not sure if even he fully realizes that he's lying.
So, Dietrich, Desmond, Leah, Alderman, nobody sticks out to you? Nobody's asked you questions, but you through?
I met with an individual named Desmond who put me through a interview process.
That's the one we dealt with. And that's the one that was attacking us. And he also... Let's see. And he sent you back... Let's see, you said you went back... You came back unharmed, unaffected.
That's right.
He had this machine that was diving into memories. Who's to say that he hasn't used such technology on you, or magic, whatever it was?
If he was to have used that on me, the extraction process will kill the individual. I wouldn't be sitting here today. It is likely he did what I was able to uncover during my time working undercover with him, that they made a simulacrum of my form and interrogated that. However, I was lucky enough, due to my amnesiac state from being trapped on your ship, that I was not able to recall the past events of a time when I worked against them. It was only after I left and reconvened with the patrollers that my memories came back to me.
Can we do some... I want to lean into Nvidi. Is there any way you can check him for curses or any of that mumbo jumbo on him? Maybe he's been cursed with something?
Jumbo, it's real stuff.
Unless you can check too far.
Maybe, I forget.
Claw's the worst wizard. She doesn't memorize any spells at the beginning of every day.
That's because I have to bring my equipment. I don't remember if I did bring them. She's got detect magic. Yeah.
Quit slacking.
Yeah. Alright. So she's just got like little goggles that she slips on and just bloop.
I can do that without the goggles. But I like the goggles more. Fa is smarter.
I made the goggles. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me. I can use my action to see a faint aura of any visible creatures or object that bears the magic. I also learn the school of magic, if any.
There is a lot of magic in this room. A lot of it is coming from magical items, weapons, and items, either clothing or defenses on not just your party, but spread out throughout the consortium members themselves. Diedrich himself specifically, you can see the aura of what looks to be some type of probably smaller, glowing magical, perhaps weapon or something in a pouch in his coat. Other than that, the only thing that stands out to you as you peer around the room is Expeditioneer Alec is completely, his entire form is cloaked in a magical aura.
Oh boy. That is purple, and that means that that's a what kind of magic?
Purple. You're seeing purple magic, Doctor. Is that what you're?
Hang on just a second. Let me see here.
Shush. I gotta dial in the reading because you're distracting me, idiot. God, this isn't natural for you, but some people have to try.
This is illusory magic.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Wow.
What's up? What is uh-oh? Fa, you said uh-oh out loud.
Uh-oh, there she goes again. Just, music popping in my head. And then she shuts up and just looks up, and then we have telepathy, right?
We don't have
earrings of
telepathy.
communication.
You guys have your earrings of communication.
Oh, okay, so she just kind of like...
I mean, the room... all of the members are surrounding you guys, but they specifically asked for you guys to try and sniff out who the traitor is. So it's not like they're trying to like lean an ear in. They're allowing you guys to converse and kind of talk quietly amongst yourselves. So unless you feel like any of them may be trying to listen in, you don't feel like you have to be particularly secret. So like if you were to use the earrings of communication, like they're all just sitting there and standing by to see what your verdict is.
I think Fa would be so caught off guard, she would do like the FBI thing where she like starts talking over. She's like, so that expedition around he's covered in illusionary magic.
No.
Oh.
But it means we're seeing something we're not seeing, or not seeing something that we are seeing. I don't know, it's confusing, but don't believe your eyes.
Mr. Gaxamax, I have a question.
He looks over to you.
Yes.
It's my belief that this creature that was created is a form of magic, so to speak. Doesn't that go against the base beliefs of most of the patrollers? I mean, don't you guys? Isn't it more that kind of smile, and I point over towards my, revolver at my hip and kind of give a flex? Isn't it more natural grit and might to take, down what's in the galaxy?
It is a gift taboo that they seem to prefer the traditional means of weaponry in battle over magic, yes. But that is not a trait that all patrollers hold. Magic is a part of life, and even the gift to some extent understand that the only way to properly function in our faction is to travel in vessels, for example, that are powered by spelljammer helms that run on magic. It is a necessary part of our world.
Now, you travel with them. Are there more magic users in your corps?
We certainly have those who are adept in magic.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Well, since we're all trying to sniff out the elephant in the room, somewhere in the room,
I get it.
would you all be so kind, or would it be out of the question to say, tell us what magical items you have on you at this time?
They all look around. X-22 robot looks around and says, I detect no elephants in this room.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll do
he's
the genius
cute.
last. We will do them last because
He's cute. Aesop just empties out his bag with like 40 bombs on the table.
Like, around the room, there is a similar action, Luke, where practically all of the patrollers place onto the table all kinds of baubles and interesting items, a large number of the sound of like shifting metal as weapons are placed on the table. It's just if you were to just grab everything here and sell it, you'd probably be rich beyond measure.
Let's do it! Take it!
It takes like a full minute for everyone to empty their things and place them on the table.
And what does What does Alec do?
Alec takes two very long and sharp-looking blades, long swords, or not long swords. They're short swords, but they're almost extended for their style, and they are colored in a beautiful green and yellow, and places them on the table, and then sits back.
And can Fa, do you see if anyone still has, if the magic, if anyone else has anything hiding for magic stuff?
Sure do. Just let me twiddle on some.
What?
Well, I mean, sure I do in character, but out of character, I don't know.
She still probably has detect magic up.
Yeah.
So does she see anything in, like, or does she sense, or however that works?
You sense some faint magic fog coming from the branch-like antlers of perennial abloom. And again, a large amount of magical detection coming from the just bevy of items that are laying on the stone meeting table in front of you. And as you peer across the room, coming back around, Alec has set his two short swords on the table, which glow a vibrant magical glow, and he himself is still giving off a glow, his entire body.
Fa doesn't say anything, but nods a glacé so that she would know that he's still glowing.
Okay.
Would it be fair to say, Aesop looks around the room, that the patrollers have had the most casualties of any of the consortium here when concerning the Dark Trine? There was quite a nasty battle, or rather the aftermath of one, that we witnessed when approaching Aquaga.
They look at one another, and there's a bit of back and forth, and then Gaxomax turns to you and says,
The patrollers are likely the ones who have had the most face-to-face contact with the Dark Trine. The Scrow specifically, one of their tenets is to clear the space lanes, the trade routes, Wyld space, as they believe it is their birthright, their home itself, everything above and off the planets. So yes, although we have not compared numbers, it is likely that we have suffered the most.
Do
And
you
would-
guys...
Go ahead, Rinkas.
I was gonna say, table talk, do you guys think that's any effect of us not finishing attacking that Scrow base? Do you think had that?
No,
effect?
I'm going somewhere with this. And would you say the majority of these, they attacked you first, rather than you happening upon them and starting a conflict?
It is an interesting interaction with the Dark Trine. It is difficult to perceive their intentions. As far as intel suggests, we were attacked first. We have simply been defending ourselves, and those of us who have made a home in the Twixt.
You know, we've been on the back foot against the Trine as well. It turned out that at one point they were even able to infiltrate our ship because we had a mole, a leak, if you will. That leak has since been plugged, but it was an interesting close-up at how they are able to infiltrate. There's a certain kind of spell they use to create an unknowing duplicate. Someone that thinks that they are the creature that they appear to be, and yet at some point they will melt away. I believe some of you may know this spell as simulacrum.
Diedrich says, yes, it's the technique that the Peacekeepers use. You were saying that the Dark Trine is able to employ this themselves.
I have to wonder if somehow the two groups are connected in some way.
Gaxomax looks around and says,
It is an interesting theory. They are proficient in military ways, but so are we in many ways ourselves. I find it interesting that we have always found ourselves typically a step behind them. They seem to have information that is always interesting to learn as we find ourselves typically running into them or them surprising us. I do wonder if this intel has not been provided by the peacekeepers.
Or perhaps from within. Certainly would be interesting if we ran into another simulacrum before the day ran out.
A possibility, yes.
Gaxman said.
What
There's
is
a saying-
Alec?
There's a saying where I come from. When it comes to gathering information, no price is too steep,
Oh.
especially when your enemy's concerned.
Perennial Abloom looks across the room and says, well, Tycoons, if you believe there is a simulacrum amongst us, then who?
Do simulacrums bleed?
He, I'm trying to rationalize who would say this. Chemo stops everybody and says, "We're not going to accuse everybody in the open. We'll speak to everybody one by one."
Do simulacrums know there's simulacrums?
No, I recall Lizzie
Oh.
seeming to indicate that.
If they were never made aware, Diedrich says, that they are in fact a copy, then no. They could carry about their lives, even going back to their original selves' lives without even knowing. Though the one thing that keeps them as the inferior version from their original is that they can never learn anything new.
Wow. Maybe we can have. Interesting. I want to ask them as co-users in our little group here, in our party, if the simulacrum spell is an illusionary spell.
I was wondering the exact same thing. Arcanus is 12.
Can I history that? Because I was able to crit roll on Lizzie
Sure.
being a
Sure.
simulacrum.
Also, he actually went to college.
Well, I learned stuff out of like these two hands.
That's a 6 for history.
What was your total, Fawn?
12.
I had head trauma.
If it matters, Jason, I rolled something further up just to you.
Oh, let me see.
And mine was 12 arcane.
Did you? I don't see it anywhere. Was it a whisper to me?
Is a GM roll, yeah.
Really? I don't see it anywhere on here.
Really? Right above NVIDIA's Detect Magic?
Hang on.
Oh, way up there.
No, it's not here.
What?
Yeah. It's weird.
Hacks.
Secrets are no fun.
You can whisper me the total if you want,
Secrets are plenty fun.
or whatever you intended to do.
You tell us all. Faster.
Well, I guess I may as well just I was doing this like almost immediately, but I was rolling an Arcana check on Alec to see if the sweat was sweat or if he was melting due to a simulacrum spell.
What was your total with that?
It was 15.
With the 15, while you're unsure, it kind of makes sense, but you wouldn't know 100% if it is illusionary or not. Aesop, it seems because of the position of Alec, and probably from what Glossy told you, that he may not even realize what he's saying is a falsity, that this probably is in fact snow and not sweat from being nervous.
Oh, that's so very unfortunate.
Well, it all comes together then, I suppose. I mean, I guess there's no reason to be subtle about this, right?
No.
Unless we're wrong, Chemo says.
The perennial says, do any of you have the ability to dispel this magic?
Well, would that kill him?
It's a simulacrum, Glosse. It's not real. It doesn't have a soul.
Yes.
If there is one of us in this room that has been compromised, then it doesn't matter. They are simply a false version of their real selves.
That's true.
And
they
the
could
more
have...
information we communicate in this room, the more dangerous they may become.
Now, are you sure there's only one person?
Damn it, Rinkaz! Damn it! Nothing else. Nobody else had the purple glow, right? It was just Alec.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Perennial says, we are not sure.
I huddle up and quietly whisper into Aesop's ear, which would, I guess, go into their communicators as well. If he really is a simulacrum, what about the robot? That's pretty easy to fake. I'm just saying, there might be more than one.
I suppose, but we don't have any more information for the time being.
Just asking.
Perennial's antlers are magic, right? Maybe we should just ask her about those and get that over with. Just to, maybe they're like antenna or something. Beep, boop, boop, sending messages out to wild space.
What's up with your weird ass antennas? No, I don't. That's out of character. That's out of character.
That's a nice rack. Tell me about it.
I was just gonna say what
Oh shit.
Well, I mean,
one lady to another. Ask her. It'll be rude if one of us does it.
Perennial, I must ask, just because it's a very serious situation.
Yes.
Your antlers are magic.
Yes.
They're beautiful, by the way.
Very smart.
Thank you.
What kind of magic are they?
They are of a healing nature, a essence of life itself, a gift.
Does she seem cool, calm, and collected when she says that? Like, super confident? No shade?
Without a roll, she seems like she's just being straightforward and answering as you ask.
That's a 21 insight.
Seems like she's being pretty honest.
Cool. Okay. Thank you, Perennial. Oh, I do have one more question since I'm talking to you. Why is the gone caged up? This is for another time, but I do just want to know.
Wait, before, yeah, don't answer that until we deal with.
Oh yes, of course, right.
Anyway, Nvidi, I think you know what must be done. Yes.
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right.
So, thanks. So VD will stand up and walk over to Expeditioner Alec and ask him in Elfish or Elven, may I take your pulse?
He looks to Gaxomax and to the others and then opens his, or flips his palm up and then extends his arm.
Okay. Can I check to see if he has a pulse, but at the same time, see if he's warm or cold?
You feel a thrumming as if there is a pulse. However, he feels his skin is cold to the touch. Not freezing, but colder than you expect.
Can look him in the eye and ask him, Have you been in Elvish still? Have you been feeling well lately?
He responds, I've been feeling fine.
No illness?
He looks to Gaxomax and then looks back at you, Nvidia, and in Elvish says, I don't know how, but if you believe it to be me, then finish it.
I will cast Dispel Magic.
You all watch as Alec begins to crumble in front of you, the color of his form dissipating to a chalky white, as clumps of his body break off and detach, and the illusory nature of his humanoid elvish form dissipates as chunks of snow splotch against the chair and floor underneath. Gaxomax looks back to everyone and takes a heavy sigh and says,
Well, damn.
I asked Gaxomax and Draconic, are you okay? Will you be alright with this?
He turns and
Says, I've lost many others. He was a good man, as far as I know.
He replies in Draconic, yeah?
he does.
Okay.
There is a possibility, albeit a slim one, that he's still alive somewhere, being used to produce more simulacrums for the Trine or the peacekeepers, whomever is keeping him there.
Do you know the last time he had a run-in with the Trine, personally? Him?
It's likely that there are logs, but of course, those logs will be ample with our interruptions and intrusions with Dark Trine. We face them every day.
What about, can I give him, like, the rough date that Lustria, like, the pirate transmission for Lustria came in, a rough date, like, maybe we can look back at, from that date backwards to see, because she was with somebody, she didn't say who, because it cut out. So, I want to give him that info. Not about Lustria, about the date to check the logs.
Right.
To be blunt, I am surprised that it turned out to be Alec.
Gaxomax says.
As far as I know, he was leading a well-intentioned charge this entire time. There is no point in time that I sensed any difference.
It's a shame many good soldiers end up losing their life because of this.
You cannot blame Alec for this. It was not actually him. It was an insidious simulacrum. Nothing could be done.
That's very true.
Diedrich says that this is the Peacekeeper's MO. This is how they abstract information. A simple interview, they say, though in reality they are simply allowing the, albeit shady, but technically legal way to process a legal simulacrum that they can interrogate and question, after which they themselves typically disperse with it. They try to do the same thing with me, and it is likely that some of us, maybe in this room, have experienced before, though we may not have remembered it.
Oh, goodness. I keep forgetting that they asked us about that interview. Remember how suspicious it sounded?
Yeah.
We went all that way down there just for like 2 questions.
Yeah.
Diedrich studies you all and says, then you have had simulacrums made.
Damn.
I wonder what information we gave them.
Can you imagine that, Glace? 2 of you out in the Twixt.
Gaxomax looks on and says,
This is likely why the Dark Trine has had such an advantage. I've had a mole right under my nose.
But why would they be fighting? I mean, if something like, if they're on board with the peacekeepers, why would they be fighting with them and not against them? I mean, the peacekeepers are enemies to everyone.
Gizzleboat pipes up. It's possible that the Dark Trine is not even aware that the peacekeepers are shaping the influence of them.
I think we need to get a message to the Dark Trine.
I agree.
Thank you, heroes. That's very nice of you. As this all happens and they all look around, the perennial looks back to you and says, Tycoons, do you have suspicions of anyone else in this room?
I kind of look back at Diedrich. I mean, I think something is up with Diedrich. I don't think he's... Whether he knows it or not, I don't know if he's telling us everything. I'm talking in party, in circle, not to the room.
Whether he knows, everything he knows from the past or not, he definitely is acting a lot different than the first time we met him.
Well, that's because he has all of his memories back. Diedrich, you said that you worked with the Peacekeepers. Do you remember working with anybody who is still there?
No, I don't. This, though, was also nearly 100 years ago.
Oh.
It is likely for their own subterfuge that they maintain a quick revolving door.
Well, if there's anything that you know that's secret, the Peacekeepers probably already invaded your mind. Somehow, I still can't get that out of my... there's gotta be a way where they can do it, get some kind of information out of you without killing you, but use you instead, that's what I would do if I was a Peacekeeper, instead of killing them, just constantly get information. But anyway, do you have anything that you want, that you have maybe under lock and key secret that you haven't told us about the Peacekeepers or about yourself?
The perennial looks around and says, Tycoons, do you believe there to be any other traitors in this room?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Diedrich says, there is something that we are not telling you, Tycoons, but we want to ensure that no other traitors are amidst us.
Aesop says back to X22 in Geodesic, the first time I'm going to use this tertiary language that I know. Using kind of, I guess, maybe whatever kind of jargon he would have heard around the Mastermind's office. He's going to ask X22 in Geodesic when his last diagnostic was and who performed it. It sounds like a dial-up modem.
He gives you the relative date, some days removed from when you guys left Neogokyo for the last time you visited. And he mentions the blue-haired gnome that you guys had spoken to, not Gizzlebolt, but a separate member who was the one who kind of negotiated with you guys back on the ship. And the name is out of my mind for whatever reason.
He gives the name of that gnome.
It seems to match up to the relative dates in which, if they were going to put, maybe a little bit later than you would have expected, maybe he was not one of the highest priority on the list of putting into a construct form, but it seems to match up with the dates on which his physical body was destroyed.
And I will ask X22 in Geodesic if I have no idea if this would work one way or the other, but I'll ask him if he can detect any unauthorized arcane intellect inside him.
He says, "Running diagnostics."
That's a good voice changer. I like it.
That's a good one.
There is no foreign substances within my core. Just what the genius have put there.
Yeah. Fair enough. And what have you, Gizelbolt? What are your thoughts on the Dark Trine?
They are a danger to us all. We want to ensure, and as part of the reason of wanting to make sure that we are able to have this conversation, that we are able to modify the Witchlight with a higher sense of security, more measures to ensure that the Witchlight key is not as easy to use.
Right.
I don't know much about the Peacekeepers as some of the other factions, but I was given the role and authority of one of the members of the Eyes when the time came for me to serve as the head of the Masterminds. So I take it seriously. There is enough data that was provided for me to believe that they are a threat.
I am just like scouring my items to see if I have anything that might be helpful here.
Let me look at mine as well.
Would you guys mind if I asked Diedrich about Zenshi at all?
Do it.
Diedrich, the question for you specifically. Do you remember a man by the name of Zenshi?
No, I don't, Diedrich says.
Does that name ring a bell to any of you?
They all look amongst one another and shake their heads.
Zero Zodiac's etching.
Nerd.
Aesop just goes, what?
That was his name.
What about asking them about Radriar?
Maybe, I mean...
Diedrich, did you ever run into a man named Radriar?
No, that name does not ring a bell either.
Interesting, because he was on the same ship as him. Does Dietrich look like he's lying, Jason? Is he sweating a little bit?
I'd like to do an insight as well.
No, I don't know who Radriar is.
All bonus.
Oh my god, Flossie. Story roll.
Girl, that's not what the receipt
Girl. Girl. Oh,
It's a
she has those
25.
receipts.
Between
Spill that
the
tea.
two of you guys, it seems like Diedrich is being honest. At least as much as he can, considering he was kind of crazy for a good number of years, trapped. on the
Oh
ship.
yeah, that's right.
And anyone else?
Fuck. I got nothing that can help here.
Well, you didn't ask everybody else, just Diedrich.
Oh. Do y'all know Radriar Tyrell?
They all look amongst one another and shake their heads no.
Okay, what was the other one we were asking?
It was him and Zenshi.
Oh.
What about your lady? The one that worked with Radriar.
Jur Lake, what?
The one that worked with Radriar. The one that created the ship rift portal out of the Twixt. Would they know her?
Oh, that was the arcane man.
Are
You
talking
mean
about the Arcane
Amryn?
Man
You're
or-
talking
Amryn.
about Amryn, though.
Amarin, yeah.
They all look amongst one another again and they all shake their heads.
Okay.
Gaxamax says,
We're not familiar with any of these names.
And surely you all have at least heard the name Cregan.
they all look and nod yes with their heads.
X says, Regan was a fugitive who perished on the Omega Prison Ring.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Should we tell him? Should we tell him?
I think so.
What a segue. So, on that ship, we did meet up with Cregan, and he told us a lot of stuff.
Before we say something that may be new, or maybe not new, maybe we should finish our investigation first.
Well, we're trying to.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know if we have too much else of a lead that we can lean on here, unless anybody's got like a crazy item or something like that.
There's the time thing, but God forbid we roll a 1 and ruin everyone's life.
We could all just. I've got a bunch.
I mean, if this starts going south,
No.
Yeah, do it.
Take shots of like acid or anything that you can concoct to see how that works.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So, on this prison ring.
Gex cocks his head and says,
You met Cregan where?
In the Weird Knot. On the prison ring.
On the prison ring?
We were there.
Why would you have found yourselves there?
To fight Cregan.
I'm pretty sure that you would have heard of that from us, because we speak with the patrollers before. Remember my little outburst with their leader on the ship? The one that I told, I walked out of the room after telling him to piss off, so to speak. Wouldn't he know that?
You guys never told them that you were on the prison ring. You guys know that they sent a Witchlight Marauder to consume the prison ring because they were under the fear that Cregan was going to release all of the prisoners.
What do you all think happened to Kazakatl? You do know him.
Most of them look confused. Gax
says, You're asking a lot of names we're not familiar with.
Lushy, you remember him.
Lushy says, Yes, of course.
Because we didn't tell anyone.
He perished, unfortunately.
You can't blame them for not knowing. We kept it secret.
I remember mentioning, though, that the Witchlight Marauder killed him. To the guy who piloted. Remember, he was like, we were the ones in control of the Marauder when we sent it at the prison ring. Remember, I told him my friend lost his life to the Marauder.
Yeah, but for all he knows, that could have just been one of the inmates that was on there.
Okay. Just double checking.
They would have no reason to suspect that you guys found your way all the way through a huge pocket of the Weird in the Weird Knot to find the ship. Because they themselves were doing their best to even get to it. They had to send a Witchlight Marauder through the Weird Knot just to reach the ship. So Gax seems particularly perplexed that you guys would have A, found your way to the Omega Prison Ring, and B, would go there to try and fight Cregan.
Sure.
If you were there to fight Cregan, then what was the outcome?
Well...
And how did you escape the ship?
So I look around, and before I say anything else, is the party okay with me saying things about Sigil?
Oh, that might be the kind of thing we do want to wait until we're sure that the room is clean.
Okay. Then why not let's make sure it's all mopped up right now?
Yeah. I mean, I put Cregan's name on the council in these documents, so it's good that we kind of sweeten the concept of Cregan a little bit, you know?
A Bloom looks around. Are we okay to take our possessions back from off of the table?
Oh, yes, certainly. Daysop scoops back all those bombs into the bag of holding.
They begin to take and reattach their things. she says, "Do you have any other suspicions for any other members in the room?"
I mean, other than Lushy, us not being sure if he's the real one or the imposter, I think I'm kind of out of ideas.
Well, now can we ask why the perennial's caged?
Oh, why the Gond is caged?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. So do it. Do it.
Before we absolutely say no more suspicions, can you tell us why the Gond is caged?
A bloom looks to you all and says, "It is the reason that we were able to understand firsthand the evils of the peacekeepers. They were the ones who put the cage around the Gond. Their intention was to hold it there and potentially find a means to use it as a weapon. That was, of course, underestimating the power of a Golinda. When it sung but a shrill note, the metal casing that they built around the entire surface of the Gond erupted, rippling out in the space around it. It didn't completely destroy this metal cage, but created a new form around it. A astral form in space. When it sung this shrill note, it also pulled something from within itself, a tear. Song so powerful that it broke open a rift to the plane of life itself. This is the foundation of the Serenal Citadel, and it is the reason that life has flourished on the broken cage that surrounds the Gond that we have now called the Celestial Cradle. The Gond chose not to leave its place, seeing that life was beginning to sprout up around it on the cradle, and instead vowed to protect it and those of us who have made a home within its insides.
Seem pretty happy.
It wasn't, yeah, there were no sorrowful songs that I heard from it.
You know, sometimes nature finds a way. It's
Right.
true, but understand.
You're a clever girl, Fa.
Ugh.
Well, I'm happy with that answer.
I suppose, unless anyone has any final ideas, we're, I suppose, as safe as we're going to get for the time being.
I don't know. Bastions are just... They're connected to demons.
They definitely are.
It's really hard to trust people connected to demons.
It definitely is.
I mean,
Glimmer and Glitz, what can you ease our minds, like, with this connection with the abyss? I mean, it's very hard to trust you nowadays. Is there anything you can say to maybe comfort us in having you here, or... No offense. It's just the whole demon thing's kind of...
Blitz speaks up. "We're not under any control of the Sheen. Our power only extends so far out of Halcyon before it wanes."
Oh, that's right, because it all turns to guts. Gotcha. Right. Got it.
who you're wearing or what you're wearing, you know.
Right.
We certainly bear the sins of our past on our shoulders. But you're not going to get 100% certainty. Each of our factions has its complications. We could also wonder the same thing about you, Tycoons, but are taking a risk here. As far as we know, you have good intentions, but at the same time, we also know that you have had multiple meetings with the peacekeepers.
Oh, honey. Yes. Okay.
I suppose we'll just have to trust each other.
I think that's about as good as we're going to get then.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we want to talk to Twee at all?
And what about you, Twee? What do you think?
I think that the peacekeepers are evil, and we should destroy the Witchlight Marauder, but also the peacekeepers.
He's
Because
cute. I like him. He's all right.
they're bad.
All right. That's all I need to hear from the little one.
One table talk question to you guys. Remember when Cregan said that what we did should be known? Remember how he gave that poetic speech of the world needs to know?
We're gonna tell them.
What if he was intending for us to tell them specifically so they could find out? I don't know.
That's a pretty long con. With an incredible amount of foresight.
We're gonna tell them, and whatever happens from there, we can either blame ourselves or blame Cregan.
We're wild knots, for God's sake. We could fix any jam we get into. Right,
Rimcast, take
guys?
a drink.
No.
Until we can't. Yep.
Until we can't. All right, go ahead, Glossy. Do your thing.
Okay. Alright, yes, we're absolutely sure that nobody else in this room is a traitor. We're choosing to trust everybody here, frenzies.
They each look to one another. A Bloom says, "Fair enough."
Okay, great. Going back to Cregan and the Wyld knot and the space station prison ring. Yeah, so we were there. We were going to fight him. And he had a lot of things to say. So I'm gonna say Sigil. Is that fine? I'm gonna tell him about Sigil.
Yeah, I think we got it.
All right. There was a place once called Sigil that we were a part of. He was a part of it. We were a part of it. It was a giant city full of all kinds of people, much like the Twixt. And one day, we were a part of an event that ultimately ripped Sigil in half.
I wasn't there for that. I just want to make that clear.
Oh, yes, yes, it was only... I mean, Nvidi wasn't there, Fa and Chemo weren't there.
A Bloom, Gaxamax, the Gilderkins, and Gizelbolt all convene in some hushed whispers and then come back. Gizelbolt says,
Yes, actually, we, although not able to recollect this sigil ourselves, we have, in our meetings of the eyes, come across pertinent information that tells of a place similar to the one you speak of.
Yeah. Well, it turns out Cregan and Rinkaz were in Sunkong-ish were all victims and trying to stop this from happening to Sigil. And unfortunately,
Gax looks at you all and says,
Not really helping your case so far, but go on.
I'm telling a story.
Shut the fuck up!
There are these purple crystal things that mind control people, and I believe they are connected to the Vespers. In this flash of gaining all of our memories back, a couple of us were being controlled by the Vespers through these crystals. Unwillingly, of course. And a sigil exploded. So to say. Now here's the thing. This was part of the Vespers' plans, not our plans.
In case that wasn't clear.
We're trying to fight against them. And see, the Vespers want to use... Is it okay to say the Lady of Pain?
I think we gotta lay it all out here.
The Vespers want to use the Lady of Pain to destroy everything that we know that is reality, in a way. They're trying to find her and expose her and explode everything except them. They want to get rid of everything so they will have a place to live. I don't know how that works, but that is how it works. I know maybe all of this sounds quite strange and off topic, but this is very important and is connected to the Vespers, and it gives you some background. Not everybody appears to be your enemies. They just are trying to do things to where it is make things right, and it's a little complicated.
Whether you believe us or not for anything that we've done or saying we did or whatever, half the reason that majority of the reason that any of us are still in this and still putting our life on the line a little bit after finding this out is we're trying to fix things that were broken beyond our power, so to speak, I guess.
Yes.
Diedrich says, "This all matches up with what I've come to know about the Vespers and the 10th pit with the Peacekeepers. The Vespers are a strange group. However, they have access to not only the resources of the Peacekeepers, but powerful psionics. It is likely that the story matches up."
Oh, they have time stop magic too, honey. Gizzlebolt, you're gonna have to do something about that. Ain't nobody, I don't know how, they stopped the whole entire ship and everything around it, except for us and them, and that was not okay.
Gizzlebolt thinks for a second.
Well, I suppose that's either some type of magic that can slow down time, or it is possible, theoretically, that because of their psionic abilities, that they were speaking to you so quickly that they were able to communicate in a sheer amount of nanoseconds, such that time for you all would seem to have stopped.
Okay, well, I'm sure they're not going to be, if they find out about the Witchlight Marauder, I'm sure your magics and defenses aren't going to be that hard for them to get across, is what I'm trying to say.
You said it would take weeks to get through all of that. I mean, maybe the blink of an eye for them.
Possibly, but we have put some steps in place.
There's gotta be something that reverses that kind of stuff, like that stops it. It's like anti-magic time stop. Can you guys make that? Can you make it happen?
Gizzlebolt looks over to the perennial Abloom, and she looks back to each of you, and she says, "It is true. We are all on the same page with the knowledge that the Vespers intend to bring great harm to the multiverse. And they are seemingly want to do so by any means necessary. If this Lady of Pain is as powerful as you suggest, she would be simply another tool for them to use. Likewise would be the potential of the largest and most dangerous Witchlight Marauder that has ever been created."
Don't like that.
No.
Gaxomax says,
It is likely that a lot of information from the patrollers was leaked to the Peacekeepers through Alec and his simulacrum.
Perennial Abloom turns to you all and says, "But we intended for that information to leak."
Oh.
How so? I don't understand.
We were aware that someone amongst our ranks was, in fact, a
potential traitor, perhaps even a sleeper agent. But we kept things quiet to allow certain information to make its way to the Peacekeepers. If they were going to find things out, it would be selective information that we wanted them to feel as though they were gaining from this traitor. We want to draw the Peacekeepers and potentially the Vespers to Beldam with this leaked information, as they are likely aware of it now.
Oh.
That's why you said it first.
That's correct. Gaxo Max looks to you all and says,
It is true that patrollers have suffered a unmitigated number of casualties in this fight with the Dark Tribe. But I have made certain moves, hidden even amongst those of the lower ranks behind me, that are unaware. There is a good portion of our fleet that most of the other patroller captains believe have been wiped out by the Dark Tribe. That is not true.
Oh my goodness.
Stellar
Nearly
work.
a third of our patrollers are currently hovering outside of the time stop field above Beldam, awaiting for the Peacekeeper troops to arrive.
Well played.
Very nice.
You know, this would have been a lot easier if you clued us into all of this deception a little sooner, but I suppose I understand why you didn't. Couldn't be
We
sure
knew
if we
you
could
were
trust it.
hiding something from us the entire time.
Well, we weren't sure we could trust you, Gizabolt says. And two, there was only a certain amount of information we wanted the fake version of us to know. Just in case. Considering all the defenses that I brought up at the beginning, the belt of asteroids that it would take for them to get through, as well as the potential dangers of the focoids firing from the magnified nearby sun, it would take some time for any of the fleet of the Peacekeepers to arrive. If they do, and the Peacekeepers are made aware, Gaxomax, you see, pulls out a phone, the Phone, though it's like the poor man's sending stone. Then Gaxomax will be made aware so that we have plenty of time to anticipate their arrival. A Bloom looks back to you all and says, We hope to draw out the Vespers and Peacekeepers into a conflict at Beldam.
Very nice. Well, we'll do what we can to help, I suppose, as we have a vested interest in stopping the Peacekeepers at this point. All living creatures do.
We can tell you what kind of stuff and creatures they have in their arsenal that we've seen so far.
We appreciate that. We have set up a plan and are hoping to deal a decisive blow to the Peacekeepers. Although we have set up a number of security measures to ensure safety of the Ultra-XWM inside of the time stop field. If the Vespers attempt to somehow find their way through magical means into the interior of the fake moon, within the time stop shell, they too will be caught in a time slice, forever trapped in its field.
Nice. Very nice.
Of course, to do that, there would need to be a means of enticing them within the interior itself.
That's where we come in, isn't it? We're the bait, aren't we?
She looks around and says, We are all the bait.
Oh my. Wait.
You mean at some future point, right?
At some future point, right? Not right this second?
And unwittingly?
No! Please no!
Glimmer gets up from her seat and heads over to one of the statuesque figures.
No!
and
No!
pulls the steel gauntlet down.
You bitch! You fucking bitch! I'll kill you!
The stained glass mirrors begin to shift now. You hear the sound of cranks and cogs turning, and the stained glass mirrors begin to be raised. You see that there's actually a steel, what looks like glass steel panel behind. But as they continue to rise, outside of these openings where the glass stain once was, still protecting you from the outside with glass steel panels, you now all see a vast, desolate, gray area behind you all that seems to stretch on.
Aesop takes the very nicely pinned treaty that he made, and he gets it all neat and tidy and stacks it up, and then throws it into the air. Does that thing where the papers just slowly rain down.
Those bombs you make edible.
I mean, anything's edible if your mouth is wide enough.
You guys look across the room. The stained glass mirrors are positioned pretty much around the whole room, and there is a set of doors at one of the far ends, although they seem to be pretty securely, they have that thing where you like throw the bar down to keep the doors from being opened. As you guys look out from within this room, now looking out, Gizelbolt says,
Yes, if you haven't figured it out by now, we are currently on the surface of Beldam itself.
Oh, now I understand, he says with the papers still like floating. Sorry, that was a little uncalled for. I'm just very, very high-strung right now.
Yeah, how dare you bring us to... Oh, you mean yourself.
Typically, we would be caught in a time slice ourselves. However, there is a secondary measure in each of the teleshifters we all possess. Within the presence of each one, it creates a pocket where the time stop magic is repelled.
Oh.
That's the reason we were able to meet in this room without being trapped in eternity.
Amazing.
Foss sighs heavily.
When the time comes, if the Vespers attempt to breach this room by some means of teleporting in, which is likely, then at that point, we can all activate the teleshifters at once, and as I mentioned in the security measures at the beginning of this conversation, we will be teleported to Beldam 3, a small asteroid that is orbiting Beldam, where a base is located with which we can safely convene with the patrollers who are currently surrounding the exterior of the main Beldam planetoid and make our escape.
So we're leading them to the biggest weapon we have and the biggest fighting force we have. This sounds fantastic.
What you call a all your eggs in one basket strategy. We're either going to have a lot of broken eggs or a really good omelet by the end of the day, so...
The main difference being that once we have teleported out, the pocket that allows the time stop field to be repelled will close instantaneously, trapping the Vespers here.
Foss says in his exact voice, we hope.
We hope.
Aesop
There is
also
no
says
hope.
in his exact voice, we hope.
It is all data and verifiably proven.
Repeats, we hope.
We hope.
How is it verifiably proven?
Well, we have run multiple tests to ensure that this is the case.
On who? On Vespers?
We don't know the exact makeup of the Vespers themselves, but I would say that this is a proper contingency plan. And if you have any better ones, we are happy to hear them.
No.
Well, considering we're already halfway through this plan, it seems like our hands are tied here. So let's make the best of it, chums, shall we? Let's stop the Dark Trine and the 10th Pit right here and now.
Rinkaz takes out his flask with a shaky hand and takes a drink.
A whiskey drink? Or a
Oof.
vodka drink?
No, you stop. You stop right now.
Cider drink?
Let's go. Pace the night away. Let's go.
Yeah, now is all we do is wait for the Vespers to come.
What will likely happen in the scenario that we have calculated is that Gaxomax will receive some type of intel from the fleet orbiting Beldam that there is approaching forces, potentially of the Doctrine or potentially of other members of the Peacekeepers. From there, it is likely that the Vespers will attempt to appear within this room while they are goading and doing whatever they are before they attempt to take either the Witchlight key or whatever valuables they wish to attempt to take from each of us. We activate our teleshifters, teleport away, and the pocket closes around them.
In theory, it sounds like it should work. In theory.
There is one alternative if it doesn't.
What's that?
If, provided we find ourselves in the situation where upon simultaneously touching our teleshifters, they do not properly take us out of this area.
I have to sit down. Hold on. Continue.
Gizelbolt looks among the rest of the consortium and they all nod. Diedrich looks back at you all and he says, "Then we are to immediately destroy them."
Yeah, it's not like we've had any problem with teleporting on Neo Gokyo before. Oh, wait.
So we have to immediately destroy the devices, and it's just a simple crunch, right? Chemo, give Chemo the device. He's good at crunching things. Look at his hands.
I have strong hands.
This will trap us all here.
Okay. Wait, I have teleport. I have the spell. We can just.
If you're trapped in time, you can't cast a teleport. You're stuck in a fraction of time forever.
What good is the spell then?
Well, in most scenarios, you're not using it to teleport out of stopped time, so it's pretty good still. Pretty good.
Do we all have to be here? I mean, can we one of us stay here and smash the devices?
If anyone leaves this room currently, the teleshifters will no longer function.
Well, I'm glad we've all willingly committed to this plan. Great.
So willingly. Also, it does sound pretty cool, though. It is a little bit of poetic justice for them there. All-powerful beings trapped in a splice in time. They can be otherworldly gods for all eternity in 1 millisecond of time.
Voss slaps a hand on her head so hard that the room echoes.
Thwack, thwack, thwack.
I also believe, despite you all Tycoons having the means to potentially navigate out of this difficulty, that we, the heads of our respective factions, hold very valuable information. If any of us falls victim to the trickery or the interrogation or manipulation of the Vespers or the Peacekeepers, it will be detrimental to not only our faction but the Twixt itself.
Stay away from purple stones.
What I mean to say is that we are all in this together.
Yes, we are. That's good to know.
I am sorry that we had to hide the truth from you. But I sense a certain amount of good within you, and believe that with your personal experiences and having the
opportunities that you have had to meet with the peacekeepers and the Vespers, that you are well aware as the rest of us the dangers that they pose and the actions that are necessitated to stop them.
I just want to know one thing. Was there ever any intention of actually talking about what to do with the Witchlight Marauders in this meeting? Or was this all just a setup to entrap peacekeepers?
Provided that we are able to fulfill the plan that we have enacted, then yes, it is an important matter to discuss the potential.
Aesop kind of gathers all the papers off the ground and starts stacking them back up again. All right, what's next? What's the next step? What do we do?
You guys look amongst yourselves wondering what the next step should be. As you search the room, you all watch as standing on the table is the entire group of the Vespers.
Oh. Please sit down, goodness.
They all look about each of you.
Oh.
I see what
We see this guy before because
We have.
Yeah.
First, you won't tell us your names. Now you're going to stand on tables. Damn,
Holy
you guys are
shit.
rude as shit.
You notice that the other consortium members are a little surprised at the sudden shift in their appearance, but have steeled themselves. The Vespers look on to you all, the one in the center looking on, his eyes alit in gold, a thick smile underneath his furrowed brow. Ah, Tycoons, so nice to meet you all again. Interesting that you were able to find your way out of our little traps that we had set up.
It was no thing at all for wild knots of our caliber.
Interesting. Though unfortunate that you will just have to suffer further losses going forward.
I don't know about that.
I believe you are underestimating us. We have all seen the possible variations of this outcome. It's best that you do as you are told.
You've seen variations of this particular outcome that we are in right now?
We have minds that are beyond yours. And our roots expand out through peacekeepers. We knew you would all meet here. We simply had to wait for the time to arrive. The most important members of the Twixt all in one room.
But like, we've been here. Where you been?
Everyone make a perception check.
Perception check.
Unnatural 20.
Nice.
Something shitty.
Natural
Oh,
20.
indeed.
Oh! It's hot and spicy in here.
Ooh, natty 20 in BD?
That's a 14.
Yes, 25 total.
Aesop, you and NVD are able to notice that Glitz and Glimra are shifting up their teleshifter, and you specifically, NVD, are able to see that everyone is beginning to ready their hands on their teleshifters.
Yeah, this is the plan. This was the plan, as we were all going to warp out of here at once.
You.
What do you guys do?
who's holding the is Chemo's got the teleshifter, right?
Yeah.
You got us.
Yeah.
I mean, 3, 2, 1 story circle. Let's fucking do this. Everybody lunge at once. Aesop just looks to all of you and lunges with his big strong hand towards the teleshifter thing.
Okay.
Gabba gabba.
You all dive towards it. You
It's sadly only adjacent to me, Rinkaz. It wouldn't get all of them.
You watch Gaxomax, the Perennial, and Twee, Gizzlebolt and X22, and Lushy, and the Gilderkins grip their teleshifters at the same time. Each of you, all in the Wild Tycoons, grip the teleshifter at the same time and await for the similar flash of light that brought you here to take you away from this place. But nothing happens.
Oh, they actually got us. Oh no.
It's...
Explain. Gizzlebolt! Why is it working?
Gizzlebolt is like smacking his teleshifter and slapping at it. The middle member of the Vespers looks to each of you. Oh, were you trying to leave?
Fa makes a giant gesture from Grizzlebolt to the big.
Okay.
You were having so much fun.
Are there any variations of this particular event where you feel sorry for us and you let us go? Maybe next time got us. So
the female member of the Vespers speaks up. None of this is personal. We are simply doing what we must in order to survive.
Oh, you can survive with us, right? We don't have to kill everyone.
Tycoons, this can be easy or hard. You have
hard.
met us before.
Yeah, did
Do
you?
us a favor and tell the consortium to hand over the Witchlight key.
You know we're not going to do that.
We don't even know who has it.
Fa repeats back in the lady's voice, Vespers, you've met us before. You know you can bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Aesop just like kind of shaking, just like tips his hand on his cane. I guess we're doing this then.
I raise my flask to them. Care for a drink before we all die?
The Vespers all collectively say, "We don't drink."
Do we?
Oh my! You guys are just the. You don't give names. You ask them first. You stand on tables and you don't take a drink. You could say no, thank you. We don't. Oh, we don't. You guys are just the worst.
Focus.
Do we actually not know who has the key?
You guys know Gizzlebolt has the key.
Okay.
Well,
I think I'm going
the
to
name of the game is Protect Gizzlebolt, then.
I wanna. I could teleport. How does that sound?
Teleportation circle takes a minute to cast.
Oh my goodness.
I can do the thing again, but I don't know if I could do that twice.
I don't know if you can either.
It's instantaneous.
You guys watch. Make another perception check.
Oh, 19.
Left to right is going to be Fa, Kimo.
24.
Nice.
That's an 80-20.
And
Oh my
Vidi and
God.
Rinkaz, you guys can see that the other members of the consortium are getting their teleshifters in a position to destroy them. You see Gaxomax placing a fist around the blue cylinder that's inside of his teleshifter.
To be clear,
Oh,
That means we're all trapped here, right? If we destroy the teleshifters?
Yes.
But that was the plan. That was the plan if the first one didn't work.
Gizzlebolt
all
is
agreed to it.
slowly underneath the table bringing his what looks like some type of ray or electricity weapon up to his to destroy it. You specifically, Rinkaz, see that all of the members are eyeing you to do the same while the Vespers continue on.
Gizzlebolt, I have a question.
I don't think now's the time, Rinkaz.
I was just curious what happens if the control device was destroyed.
What control device?
We don't know who has it, Rinkaz.
Well, I mean, if we destroy it, what happens to the Witchlight Marauder?
Well, then no one can control it. That's a terrible idea.
Oh, that just sounds like a good idea to me.
Gizzlebolt looks thoroughly confused. You guys
Do the Vespers look like they're going to attack us?
No?
Ready to attack? No. Okay.
Nonchalantly standing on the table.
I'll like look at Chemo and his big hands and
Can
make
I?
a gesture.
Do we want to destroy it? Like, because I'm thinking that's not going to solve the problem if they can arrive here without it.
Also, if we destroy it, that's probably like the end of our party too. So let's like weigh the gravitas of the situation.
Chemo instead gives it to Kui and says, "You wait as long as you can," and then takes a fighting stance in front of her.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work anyway.
Now,
Kui-
Jason, just to make sure I have the rules right, what happens if the four of them destroys their teleporter and we do not?
You are unsure, although you get the sense from the way that they are trying to elicit contact with your guys. Trying to make sure you're looking at them in the way that they're suggestively eyeing you. That
Yeah.
You need to coordinate breaking them together.
And this,
Kui-
okay.
Kui
Okay.
watches you get into a defensive stance, Chemo, and Kui also looks around the rest of the room. And she says, I agree with the consortium. Whatever it takes.
Jeez.
It is what it is, I suppose.
Kui snaps the teleshifter against her knee, breaking it in half. At the same time, simultaneously, the other consortium members seeing this each break their own teleshifter. You all hear the crack of glass, a spark that flies out from the device, and you await for the inevitable end of being caught in a slice of time. But it doesn't happen.
Oh boy. Couldn't even give us the heroic outro, huh?
The room shakes now. It feels as though the entire surface of Beldam shifts. Pieces of stone from within the room begin to fall from the ceiling. You each have to grab at a chair to correct from falling out of it. The Vespers look out to each of you and say, very well, as you are wont to do, the hard way. Let's see how you fare in a fight that you cannot possibly win. And as they say that, they disappear.
Well, it was something, I suppose.
Gizzlebolt, come here.
We're gonna beat the shit out of you. No, I don't say that.
Gizelbolt's eyes are seemingly trained outside through the glass steel panels out on the horizon. He doesn't turn to you, but says, "Yes?"
What, what are you looking at, Gizelbolt?
The delivery was great. What you looking at?
Gizelbolt shifts out of his seat and begins to step over to one of the glass steel panels. "I believe it's pertinent that everyone comes to see this, just to make sure that I am not seeing things."
Oh no, I don't want to look out the window.
This is why everyone should always include us in their secret plans. They just botch it otherwise. We have never botched a single plan that we've ever committed.
What is Gizelbolt looking at?
What is he looking at?
Each of you takes a step up from your seats and goes to a respective glass steel panel as they surround the room. As you look out, now able to see far above, being this close to the glass steel panel, you can see that Beldam is covered by this vast network of what looks to be these arcane relays. However, you see a number of other things at this point. The vast relay is probably close to the cloud line, far above the surface of Beldam. You notice a number of what look to be faintly glowing areas, these panels that are interspersed in this web that surrounds. Some of them are lit blue, giving you the sense that there is some type of magical effect still going. However, you are noticing a number of them beginning to blink away and go transparent.
Huh. They're getting rid of the time stop field.
This is exactly why I didn't want to give the Marauder to the masterminds in the first place.
Everyone make a perception check.
Any of their plans, no matter how foolproof, always end up malfunctioning. 14.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. 14.
13.
13.
Okay. You guys can all see a fleet of what look to be, because of the coloration, it seems as though there is a number of patroller ships outside of this web, as was told to you all. However, you're also able to see that there looks to be a massive firefight that is already happening far above the surface, as out beyond Beldam is a massive glowing portal. Its size is incredibly large, and pouring through it are a number of what look to be dark trine ships that are pushing through.
Those idiots.
On top of that, strangely enough, seem to be asteroids or comets. Something is pushing through this open portal too, that is rocketing towards the metallic relays of Beldam. Rinkez, with your perception check, you watch as one of these massive rocks connects with one of these steel relays, and you can see that it is made of very, very thick steel. If it was regular troops, even from one of their ships firing down to the surface, it would probably take a considerable amount of time to be able to pierce through. You are also able to see as this rock connects and breaks apart, and you all feel the tremble underneath your feet as this is happening. You can now also see that breaking out from that rock, there is something inside. From this distance, it looks small, but you know, just from the sheer size in relation to the ships already in a firefight far above the surface, that it is actually a very, very sizable creature. You've seen this creature before, Rinkaz.
Oh,
And
no.
with your check, you see a number of others. There is not just one. You count 3 or 4. All of them standing on the relays and clawing into them with their might and aggression. You see Tarrasques tearing into the time-stop web.
That is indeed how you would break a time-stop web.
Yeah.
Well,
Guys, it's raining Tarrasque.
Gaxomax looks on and says,
I don't understand what technology they're using to get here so quickly. I should have been phoned by now. I must have attacked immediately through this rift that appeared here.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Perhaps
you hear a Bloom mention, it is possible that the Peacekeepers were able to either develop or find some type of technology that allows instantaneous travel wherever they need to go.
Well, what do we do, everyone?
You guys also are now able to collectively see that some ships are beginning to crash now. A number of the fields that were holding up this time-stop web surrounding the surface of Beldam have now been essentially decommissioned, and some of the patroller ships caught with damage from a number of Dark Trine ships in flames crash down on the surface, the ripple shaking below your feet. You can also see other ships that look like Dark Trine ships beginning to leave and ascend from the surface. And it's now that you're able to see that out in the distance, on the horizon, encroaching where the distant star is beginning to set, is a sea of Dark Trine members that are beginning to encroach on your location.
Oh. So what do we do? What did you guys have a plan for if anything didn't work?
The plan was to sacrifice ourselves to ensure that the Vespers were caught here. We weren't aware that there was a number of Tarrasques that they had in their midst.
There was like a planet of Tarrasques we learned about. How long ago was that? How did we learn about that?
You knew about a planet of Tarrasques?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't an actual planet. It was like something we learned that it was a possibility. I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember that maybe it was in a book? I don't remember.
It popped up in my tome.
Ah. Oh.
It
was in
wasn't a
our
book.
It's a good book.
Well,
Well,
that
then.
explains the Tarrasques. It doesn't explain how they got here so soon.
Gaxomax turns and
Says, it doesn't matter.
They've clearly demonstrated some mastery of time and displacement. They just showed up here in the super secret bubble. Super secret time bubble, right, Riz?
I mean, I'd suggest our ship, but there's nowhere safe at this point.
The important thing, I suppose, is we still have the key.
Gizabel looks to you all and says, do you have any form or means of teleportation that could take us all out of here and keep us in one piece?
Oh, we do.
Would take a minute. How big are the forces approaching us, Jason? Is it like an unassailable, like, Persians approaching Thermopylae kind of situation, or is it just like a really big army of Dark Trine?
You can't see the horizon.
Oh, okay, so it's that bad. All right. Well then, Glace, let's get to teleporting because this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
Well, this is my first time casting this spell, so everybody strap in.
Bloom says, how many can it take, though?
It
Oh,
can
no.
take, let's see, 8
As long
willing
as it can take
creatures.
all of us.
Oh no, it will need 8 willing creatures.
Ooh.
Or a single
Wow. Look at the time. We really must be going.
Okay.
Wait, set up a bunch of people to get kidnapped by a bunch of bad guys. Raise your hand. You go first.
Listen. We can't just, obviously we can't leave the heads of the consortium here, but we need options.
The ship. Can we contact the ship? Arcane Man?
It's weeks away.
No. Okay.
The consortium says, Perennial says, we are the heads of our factions. We cannot fall prey to either the Dark Trine or the Peacekeepers. Who knows what their infectious influence may do to not only our people, but the Twixt itself. Wild Tycoons, there must be some means for us to survive this.
What
can
items
we
do we have?
Gizabolt says,
Do any of you have some means of putting us in some protective field or something like that?
I have a magnificent mansion.
That might hide us for long enough to maybe they'll give up the search and then we can come out, right? Right, Glossy? Right? That would work?
Your cube?
Perennial says, the mansion is a means of escape, but we would eventually have to return to this point.
I suppose if they get here and we're not here, though, I mean, the mansion... Does it leave a door, Glossy? Does it, like, leave a trace of itself behind?
Oh, let's see. I believe it does. Let me double check. I'll just display it. Oh, the portal is invisible. While close, the portal is invisible.
Well, we could stay in there for 24 hours and hope that at the end of 24 hours they've given up the search.
If, however, they find their way within this room and are able to pierce through the portal, we would find ourselves bottlenecked, trapped inside of your mansion.
That would be pretty bad.
Gaxomax looks and pulls up his phone and begins to order one of the ships of the patrollers. He begins to give them a set of coordinates as he looks out and yells at Gizelbolt to tell him the general location of where he's tapping at with his finger. Once he's done, he turns you all and says,
I can get a whale ship down here. Most other ships made of wood and others will probably fall to the ranged attacks of the mass approaching. But the whale ship, because of its steel exterior, should hold. I can get it close enough that it would only be a walk's away, but we will have to find a way to persevere through the mass of the Trine.
Not a great option, but an option is better than nothing.
What about that teleport key that we have for the 10th pit? Is that I mean, can we activate that, or is that does it? I don't know. Is it?
I'm looking
also,
at
you know, it only activates when you find a flickering portal that you cannot see. It's not just like a turn on and you go there.
Sun Kong's equipment is nothing. He has a ring of protection, a chaos blade, and money. As a monk, he's clearly eschewed all worldly possessions.
Oh, yeah, can we throw money at it? Does that work? It does most of the time.
I don't know if we have enough to pay a
tome!
entire... The tome?
Maybe NVD can teleport us out with the tome? He teleported... Well, no, that only worked on him. Never mind.
You guys hear the pattering of now a assailing number of look to be crossbow bolts and arrows that begin to smash against the glass steel panels.
Okay, alright.
Chemo says maybe the answer's already here. And he detects portals. I can detect planar portals within 1 mile.
You, Chemo, detect no portals.
Oh, that was a good Hail Mary, though.
Oh, we're fucked.
What about protection from evil?
I mean, that will slow them down from killing us.
It'll just take twice as long.
Do you have any other means? Something that, if we have to go to this whale ship, could at least keep us protected somehow?
I mean, I've got bombs. I can throw bombs. I have a limited amount of smoke grenade to cloak our escape, but that's not going to be much of anything, I'm afraid.
Any type of shell or anything like that, a magic item that could encase us in something to protect us on the way there. Otherwise, we'll get easily cut down by the assailing number of ranged weaponry that's being fired our way.
How big is your cube, Fa?
It's only 15 feet, so I can only take 9 people.
Wait, do you have a cube with you?
Cube of Force, it's not big enough for everybody.
Give it to me, I'll modify it, Gizelbolt says. I'm not the head of the Masterminds for nothing.
Do the thing.
I look to Jira and say in Draconic, "Hey, buddy, you got any tricks up your sleeve? If not, it's all coming down now. I don't know if you can do anything, but it's worth a shot." I pat him on the head and shrug.
You feel the sense of fear coming from Jira.
Oh, little baby, hug that little baby.
Little golden piss stream collects on the...
Do you toss the orb over to Gizelbolt, Fa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it,
Gizelbolt takes it in his hands, and you see him bring what you assume was a ray gun at first, but it seems to be probably more some type of like tool, and he begins shooting some what looks to be arcing sparks at it in certain areas, and begins twisting it and turning it. He also pulls some pieces from his pocket, screws and small little metal pieces fall to the floor as he quickly begins, he like throws it on the table and then quickly begins piecing something together. Tycoons, if we make this push to the landing zone where the whale ship is going to be, can we count on you to protect us on the way there?
Oh, I hate an escort mission.
We'll try our best, of course. Imperative that we all get out of this together if we can.
As many of us as possible, yes.
Who can fight?
I can...
Well, I guess nobody, I mean...
I can throw bombs behind us. It might be able to slow them down.
I have a wind wall. Maybe wind wall can slow them down.
Wind wall, yes, to keep them from shooting at us, perhaps?
Gizelbolt, you hear the sound of sparks coming from over near him, and he turns to you all and says, "Okay, it's very shoddy in nature, but I believe I've crafted something that can work. I've provided a shift with the orb. This is temporary, of course, Fa. It will create a circular form of shielding rather than a cube, and give us an additional 10 feet of protection. That should fit us all inside."
Perfect. You're a lifesaver, Gizzle.
I have set it so that non-living and living matter cannot push through. However, the extension of the shield to be able to fit us all in, there had to be some, sacrifices that had to be made. It is likely that because of the sheer mass and volley coming from the skies, as well as the Dark Trine encroaching themselves, that some of them may push through.
That's fine. We can take care of that if need be.
You see Glitz and Glimraw look and say, "The most important thing will be pushing them to keep them out. If they push through, we'll need to ensure that whoever's holding on to the device can keep holding on so that we can press on." Gizelbolt looks and say, I'll hold on to it. But I'm guessing the massive forces out there, someone may need to help me.
Do we want one of us to hold on to it?
It's gonna be physically demanding then? To hold on to it? Like, I don't understand.
Gizelbolt points out, and you see the sea of dark trine. Moving that is no problem, as I'm sure you've used before, Fought, moves with you. However, what you're talking about is essentially trying to push one wall against another, this being the outside sphere of the orb itself versus the trine that we see out there. The sheer number of them will likely mean that if I'm carrying it by myself, it will be difficult because of my smaller stature. But if I can potentially just even ride on someone else as we carry it through, perhaps we can push ahead.
Chemo. Please, chemo. Please.
Yeah.
Little Gizelbolt riding on Chemo's shoulder. Oh, that's so cute.
Twee pops up and says,
The most important thing will be keeping everyone safe, and the most important people here are the representatives at the heads of the factions.
Oh, you would say that, wouldn't you?
I
Fine.
I suggest you all maintain a distance close to the center of the sphere and allow the rest of us to attempt to keep the Dark Trine members at bay.
Protect the leader. Got it.
At 22, you don't have another one of those nukes inside your stomach, do you?
Nope.
22 turns and says, Funny enough, I do.
Wait, what?
That's correct.
I legitimately did not expect that to be the answer.
Is Gizelbolt, quick, is there any way to download his brain and data safely and use his body as a nuke to blow them up? You can take my money, I don't care.
It's possible that we could blow them up, yes. There's no way to do that quickly, A.
And B, we'd have to get X-22 sufficiently far enough away from us that we are not caught in the same explosion.
Tensor's flying desk.
That moves very slow and has to stay within range of of the person that cast it.
I have Dimension Door.
Dimension Door is what, like 30?
Only 120, 120.
Yeah, that doesn't seem... That seems like that'll be bad. Well, okay, that's good to know that he does have a nuke in his belly, in case worse comes to worse.
It sounds like rain as the glacial panels are pelted by all kinds of ranged weaponry. You now see only a few minutes out is the Dark Trine that are encroaching on you guys.
All right. Any last words, everyone?
Nope.
Gaxo Max says,
Everyone, get within the field. Protect one another.
I have Stone Shape. Maybe that'll help.
Do not find yourselves outside of it, or else you will be skewered by the weaponry from the other members. Though even inside we may take shots. This will require everyone to work together hand in hand. I do not know if all of us will make it, but this seems as the best shot that we have. The whale ship should be descending soon, and we can push on ahead to make way to it, so that we can attempt our escape.
Chemo, do you have any strength, dex, or con? What is most valuable to you that's under 20 right now?
I mean, they're all pretty good. I'm gonna guess that strength is gonna be important for this, though.
All right. I'm gonna jam some mutagen 22 into chemo. You get +3 strength, and if you don't need it, because I'm pretty sure chemo's a monk, but you have natural weapons. They're like claws. You could do slashing damage instead of punch damage if you want. But point is, you have +3 strength right now.
Okay. Sweet.
What about invisibility? Do you think that's gonna help? Maybe.
If we're all in one area, unless one of us needs to split off.
Just keep in mind that the moment any of them finds one of us out, they'll likely encroach on whatever that is.
All right.
You guys can see them approaching. They're not like in separate battle formations where there's distance between them. They seem to be like shoulder to shoulder approaching you.
We gotta push through them. Everyone's inside the sphere right now, right?
You watch as Gizzlebolt activates the sphere. This blue sphere radiates out, and you all get within it.
All right, Gizzlebolt says. Who is going to assist me in pushing it forward?
Was that you, Kimo?
Yeah.
Very well.
Gizzlebolt says, and he throws his hands up like a toddler waiting to be picked up by you, Kimo.
Boy. Yeah.
All right, you pick him up.
Yes.
Okay. Any last-minute preparations?
I was just injecting mutagen 23 into myself, so I am all big and were raveny right now.
All right.
I can cast Wall of Fire. It's gonna be like a thick wall of fire. They won't be able to see us until they pass it. Which maybe would help.
Where would we be sending that fire at?
Wherever they, I mean, they're all outside, so just maybe a patch of them outside.
I see. Well, whatever defensive measures. The most important thing is keeping them out in the shell. There is no doubt that some of them may be able to push through, but whether you kill them or are able to just push them back out is the important thing. We don't want to get overwhelmed. Those of you who find themselves with free hands may try to attempt to clear the way.
Gaxomax turns and tells you all,
The LZ is straight north. We can just follow in a straight line there.
It is funny you speak mention of extra hands. Aesop 22 says as his wings come up and they've got like extra hands on him. I have 4 arms right now.
oh, fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just use Wall of the Wind Wall to push the cube of force with us in it?
Ooh, that's an idea. Like a battering ram. Like shoot us like a fucking giant bullet. Or bowling ball.
A possibility, but you don't know how well it would work until you try it.
I'll try it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do we want to
You can
kind of
now
like
hear the battle cries of the Dark Trine as they are less than a minute away from encroaching on this meeting room.
do we want to kind of take positions around Chemo, like maybe where we would be positioned in the sphere or something? Aesop 22 is like, I will crush them from front side, holding like all 4 of his arms up because he's like at 20 strength right now.
Okay. I'll say you guys can take formation. Just hang on a second because we'll switch maps.
Oh, okay.
Is everyone ready?
Yes. I can't move my token.
I forgot to ask, do I get a good boy card for my 20 earlier?
Yes, you do.
Yay, good boy card.
Can I take one too?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Let me give this to you, Glosse. It should have been you from the beginning. Control by Glosse. Save. Okay, let me double check. Okay. Don't worry about this token. Let me hand out the good boy cards. Hang on just a second. Go ahead and grab those. You each line up inside of the blue sphere from the modified cube of force. Gaxomax turns to the rest of you and nods as he flips the bar that was keeping the doors to the meeting room held shut. He pushes them open and quickly steps back inside of the orb as a hail of arrows nearly push into the orb itself. You watch as the orb is actually a little outside of the meeting room now because it's going through like the front wall. And you can see as the arrows connect, a number of them are being reflected away, but a few of them almost stick halfway in through before being cut in half. And 1 or 2 of them actually pierce through and land inside.
Okay.
You hear Gaxomax turn and say,
Alright, let's push forward.
and each of you begin to push through the open doors to the outside.
Wee! Like a fucking log flume ride or something.
Oh no.
Or a potato gun. Boom!
Yeah. Wind wall.
I will change maps. You guys push out into the open. You hear the loud cries of Dark Trine surround you immediately. You see all forces from each of the three legs of the factions. The Vodani, the werewolves, as they try to bite and claw their way through the shield. You see the Neogi surrounding you. You see Umber Hulks as their pincers clamp on and try to push through. You also see various militant-looking members of the Scrow as they attempt to slash at the shield with their weaponry. Some of them, just from the sheer force of this huge mass, this conglomerate of Dark Trine, are almost pushed involuntarily against your shield, as they are just almost like trying to... It's almost like a... not out of desperation, but just like a tactic of who cares who we lose, this is our chance to take them down, push and kill them. And I will change maps. You guys see up ahead, similar to this picture, that there is just gray, rocky earth ahead of you. The terrain doesn't seem all that different. To the right of you, there seems to be a little bit of a hill up above that raises some yards. Otherwise, you can see the clear area up above where Gaxomax points a taloned finger for you guys to just push through to head. And I will switch maps.
That map? Is there music playing?
No. Not
Okay.
yet.
Just making sure. Oh no! Oh dear.
You'll scroll down to the bottom. As you all just take a second to peer around you, you hear Perennial Abloom turn to you and say, Tycoons, there was a first meeting that we had amongst one another, in which I asked you to cast aside your selfish ambitions and give yourselves for not only the good of the Twixt, but its people. If there was ever a time to prove that, she says, it is now.
Oh boy.
Can I cast Distracting Beauty on myself and get ready to, like, I want to, like, Lasse wants to get ready to defend?
Yes. Yes.
Give me SunCon control.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gen Con.
Hang on just a second. Okay. Let me let you assume control.
Now I understand that making a layer of creatures just a map. Holy Christ.
Jeez. That's a lot of Dark Trine. Okay, cool.
The numbers seem imperceivable as they press against you all. Everyone go ahead and post up where you want to be.
Done. Aesop and Sun Kong at the front here.
Also, please roll me initiative.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah. I'd like to
is-
shoot it.
Is nobody moving? Nobody's moved their turn?
I'm reading. I'm trying to find my Rhaegar shit.
Oh.
I'll just roll initiative really quick.
I'll
It was
take,
only ever in the Discord.
Take a 69.
Oh shit.
All right.
Oh no. Never mind. You rolled twice.
Uncharacteristically low roll from SunCon. But at least our turns are right next to each other.
I'm going to let Diedrich stand for all of the other characters that are not you guys in this group. You notice some of them, like Gaxomax, Diedrich, Twee, and even Lushy, are taking up arms at the far ends, and the higher ranking members, besides Gax, are centering themselves up in the center to help bolster Chemo and Gizzlebolt. Alright. I think everyone has entered their initiative and we'll go descending. So, Rinkaz, you hear the roars and the battle cries of the Dark Trine wave that crashes against your shell. You know that you have to press forward. Even if there are no enemies inside of the field, you still know that you need to do whatever you can to help clear the way, because pushing through this sheer mass of them is going to be difficult. What do you do?
I laugh and I just pull out my blitz cannon, the Reaper, and point it straight forward. It's a cone.
Alright.
Am I taking a shot?
Sure, yeah. There's a mass of bodies in front of you that are trying to pierce through to hack you apart.
Alright, well, if it's impeding us from moving, correct?
It looks like it's going to be extremely difficult, as Gizzlebolt said. Despite being able to freely move along with the cube of force, or the now orb of force, just the sheer mass pushing against you is like a force itself.
Alright, well there's no better time to use it than now, then I guess I'll keep my shotgun in one hand and I'll just throw the satchel of all of the gift goodbye grenades I made right in front of me.
Outside of the sphere, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How far ahead do you throw it?
Let's see. Let me measure first. We'll say about 25, 30.
Okay. Give me whatever the necessary attack roll or anything else would be.
Let's see. Oh, up to 60 feet away with a grenade launcher, or regular would be up to. Alright. It is a DC 15 saving throw. It is 5d6, and there are currently 5 in the bag.
And you're throwing all of them at once?
Yeah, I'm gonna prime one and then just put it back in the bag I bought for it and just chuck the entire bag.
Okay.
So DC 15 for whatever it's considered.
A massive explosion tears through the ranks in front of you as you see bodies flying and a spatter of blood that slaps up against some of the backs of the heads of the ones in front, but also along the shield itself, as a number of them are blown apart by the 5 simultaneous gift goodbye grenades going off at once.
Yes, Rink, murder, kill! Oh god, that's a lot.
There you go. That's 90 damage. That's, I would assume, grabbing that and throwing that would be my action, so I'll action surge and just start blasting away with the shotgun.
Sure, make your attack rolls.
Started blast.
Alright. They're within 30 feet, just adding the extra. It shoots in a cone, so it's, I guess, a separate roll for every thing. If you're just taking a mob roll, it'd be a 27 on the first one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Why am I over here? Oh well.
Where do you want to be?
I want to be surrounding the little baby that we're supposed to be protecting.
You can move him in. Move her over there.
I'll do it on my turn.
Okay.
It's 14 damage to the first initial because it does double damage to anybody adjacent. I guess it'd be the first row of them, but everything after that takes only 2d8.
Okay.
So if you just want to roll it, I guess it's half.
A swath of them, 2 or 3 others are cut down. Some injured, but still standing.
I'll take good enough actions. I'm going to take 2 more shots with it. It's 20.
Roll your damage. And basically just go through your attacks. And tell me the total damage.
That's a 19 to the front row, and if, again, however you want to roll it, for just 2 of them for the back half.
Rinkaz fires from outside, from inside of the sphere to the outside. You hear the shrieks as some of them are caught by his weaponry. You hear the sound of explosions high above you as you look above and see Tarrasques tearing through. A number of these rocky meteors piercing through this portal. Ships on fire. Gaxomax turns to you all and says,
The patrollers should be able to keep those comets from touching down and releasing those creatures on us. Just keep pushing.
I'll use 1 point of grit of my 3 to gain advantage on the next shot.
sure, anything else?
That's 26. Not hit. That's 15 damage to the front row and whatever to the rest.
Okay. Anything else Rinkaz?
That's it. That's all I got.
Glacé. Rinkaz releases a volley of grenades and gunfire into the horde in front of him.
I want to... I mean, not too close to us, but I want to do wall of fire in front of us and try to clear a path a little outwards so we'll have, like... I can dismiss it whenever we get closer.
Sure. Draw it.
Draw it for me.
Yeah. So, I think it's 60. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for the... Here we go.
I'll put the text up for you.
Thanks, I'm just looking for the free hand. I guess it's gonna be... not here. We'll do it right here. Sorry, this is kind of hard to do when I have to measure and draw at the same time. Can somebody draw a line that big?
Right there next to it?
Yeah. Perfect.
That's 70, so a little bit smaller than that.
1 square shorter on both sides.
That's 60 feet?
This line is 60 feet right here.
What? You're not looking at the right place. Look up here.
Oh, okay.
Alright. And I'll go ahead and roll it.
Is that where you're positioning it right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So... The wall is opaque and lasts for the duration. When the wall... Everybody has to make... Each creature within the wall, which is 20 feet thick, each creature has to make a dexterity saving throw. And the DC on that is... 18. Good luck.
You hear screams and cries as a wall of flame in the distance fires up. A brightening color of flame lighting a number of Darktron units in the distance.
Awesome. If anyone fails, they take half. So each creature that ends within 10 feet of that. Shit. We'll make it the left side, and if any creature is 10 feet within the wall, it's going to take the same damage as if it entered the wall.
Sure. Okay. All right. You smell the sound of. You smell the smell of smoldering and burning flesh. Anything else, Glace?
I will use my Mantle of Inspiration if it's possible. 6 creatures of my choice will get 11 hit points and can move if they need to move. But I'll make it the party. I'll make it the party except for Sun Kong and myself. So Kui, Rinkaz, Chemo, Fa, Aesop.
Give it to Sun Kong instead of Aesop. He's already got 10 HP.
Okay, Sun Kong, and I have one more. We'll give it to little baby Twee, I guess.
Chemo, you're going to have to use both your movement and an action to make an athletics check to push through the mass of creatures in front of you.
+3 strength, baby! Oh, I'm sorry, Glace. How much temporary health was that?
11.
11. Okay, cool. I put Sun Kong over 100. Jeez.
So I didn't want to give it to Sun Kong.
I have 16 temp HP, so if you need to give that to somebody else.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And VD, sorry. There's so many things.
No, he already has. He already has it.
Oh.
He already has temp HP. They don't stack.
Okay.
Alright. Chemo's athletics check. Whoop.
17. You guys all collectively moving along with Glace's mantle to try and push forward?
Yeah.
Alright. Pushing against the mass, Chemo. Attempting to push ahead. You feel the dirt and rock underneath you as if it's pushing against you. You know, your feet slide across it as you try to, with Gizzlebolt on your shoulders, just push ahead against this mass. With that check, you are able to move forward 1, 2 spaces. Pushing the mass of forces off of you.
Super monkey ball.
Anything else, Glace?
No.
Okay. Chemo, then you're up.
Chemo did his thing, no?
Well, actually, let me think. You would have had to use your action, so the mantle wouldn't have been able to work.
So you do it this round then.
So you, if you want to go ahead and say this is what you did for this round and push ahead, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. And VD, then, you're up. Unless you have anything else, Chemo. I don't want to. We have special stuff. I don't know.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. And VD, you're up.
VD is going to tell Jira to protect Chemo. And then he's going to take note of Glace's wall of fire and make a mirroring wall of fire facing the opposite way to create a lane.
That's awesome.
And then please draw it. You probably will want to give your guys enough room to be able to fit through. Just keep that in mind.
Right. We're going to draw it.
Gotcha.
This is a great stratagem. I'm a big fan of this.
I don't know if we'll fit through this. But we can also dismiss it.
We can squeeze
Yeah.
in if we need to.
Okay, so yep. The teal line is going to represent the fire.
Is that your yellow?
Yeah, I'm gold.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. Before I roll the damage, I want to use my inspiration card to up the DC.
Sure.
By 2, which is going to make the DC on this wall of fire a 21.
Okay.
X. For 21 fire damage.
Cool. You similarly hear these screams coming off from the distance as you watch Glace, and a almost mirror-like version of Wall of Fire is cast up on the other side, creating a lane for you guys to pierce through.
Nice.
Anything else at VD?
No.
All right. Fa.
Fire to the rescue! She runs up here to the edge and she casts that super sick spell that I know the name of and don't have to delay until I find it. Thunderwave! 15-foot cube in front of me has to make a DC 17 con save or take a bunch of damage.
Go ahead and roll damage.
8. Wow. A minimal amount of damage. They'll take 6 damage, but they're also pushed 15 feet away from me, 10 feet away from me.
Nice.
Oh, hiccups.
You're able to push some of them back, and you also watch one or two drop from what look to be already injuries from some of Ringcast's gunfire.
Oh, sorry, it's a 15-foot cube originating from me. So it's just...
Oh, closer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you push less than you think, but still catch some of them.
So it's the ones that were in this area get pushed back 10 feet.
Okay. Okay.
You can do it. You can do it so that it's flush with you. It doesn't have to include you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
Very fucking confusing.
So you're able to catch a few of them. You do push them back, but you notice just the sheer force of them. They almost just fall back into the shoulders of the ones behind them. But you are able to push them back somewhat. Kind of throw them off their feet a little bit. You feel as though each of these effects that you guys are doing to try and help mitigate the mass of them ahead of you may help in terms of checking to push forward. Anything else, Fa?
I'm gonna use my bonus action to try and hide behind Ringcast.
Okay. Aesop. Are you literally trying to hide?
Yeah, quite literally.
Okay. You feel like this is going to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah. There's gotta be a crit out there somewhere. 26.
You hide behind Ringchaz, and maybe they don't see you now, but they still see everyone around you and continue to fire a volley of arrows that pierce the top and slash against the sides of the sphere with their weaponry.
All right. So I look around. Is Lushy just not moved up, or does he look like he's like sleeping
Lushy's
away?
moving with
Okay. All right. Just making sure that he's not like, aha, I was the mole the whole time, and is like slinking out the back of the. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Aesop takes a thermobaric bomb. And I don't think it would be possible for me to miss in this scenario, considering the density. But I will throw it just in this direction.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna. It's like the thing I do instead of upcasting. I'm gonna add reagent dice to deal more damage for that.
Okay.
Okay, it's gonna deal 26 fire damage, and then everything adjacent to the 5-foot cube where it exploded takes 13 fire damage.
Okay. A fire erupts in between the two lanes up ahead. More fire that crackles out. It catches a few of them, not as many as you would have hoped because of their save, but it still catches a couple of them. A lit flame.
All right. Better than nothing. And then Aesop's done, but for Sun Kong, he's He's just gonna run interference on his turn. He's gonna hold an action, and if it looks like people are spilling in, he's gonna Sun Kong run to them and like try to, push them out.
Okay, sure. Jira.
Is going to obey and huddle next to Chemo. Hold an action to cast a touch spell.
Okay. Are you guys okay with this going long?
Seems pretty important. I'm good. Is everyone else good?
Good without Kevin.
I'm
Good.
fine.
I'll step out for a second in between turns. I'm good.
Okay. Diedrich and the others push up. You watch as Gaxomax pulls out a elegant, novel-looking pistol and fires into the crowd. Diedrich has a couple of throwing knives that he elegantly slips from his fingers, letting them loose into the crowd. You watch some of them, one or two, fall without even completely realizing that one of the daggers had been contacted in their bodies, as if they didn't even register the pain before it was too late. Lushy behind you all, you watch him as he cracks a whip behind you, striking some of the ones behind him. Alright. The volley of arrows, some of them being reflected back by the dome, but still quite a few being able to pierce through the augmented cube that is now an orb. Can you guys each give me a dexterity saving throw?
Evasion!
Oh, Glace, no.
Evasion. I also had to say it twice because it's applicable twice. Left and right chemo file.
Nice.
Okay.
Flaws 19, she's the lowest score in those two.
Ooh. Wow.
I am going to go around Aesop.
Sorry, I didn't get the total. I just knew I succeeded. 27.
You succeed. Glace.
I crit failed.
Oh, that's right. You take 12 points of piercing damage.
I have to roll for time. So let me roll for con. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yes.
Or good luck.
Good
I'll
choice.
use the good luck card.
Good
Nice.
choice.
So it's gonna be plus that.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good, Bobby.
Very
Ow.
nice. Keeping forward, Rinkaz.
That is
Total?
a 21 total.
Okay. You take 11 points of piercing damage.
Oh no, it's half damage on a save. Oh no.
And VD?
VD scores 16.
Okay. You take 14 points of piercing damage.
Well, that was a fail. Fuck.
Fa/chemo.
I gotta roll concentration.
Oh, yes, please.
Chemo 25, Fa 19.
You guys both have evasion?
Fa does. I don't know that monks actually do.
Con
They
save,
do-
right?
Yes, please. Monks should
Modifier?
have evasion.
But yeah. Yeah, okay, there it is.
You're fine, MVD. If both Fa and Chemo have evasion, then you guys are able to
Yeah.
skip out
Both.
from the fire.
Such a
Both
good
speak
skill.
addiction. Bloop.
Such a good skill. Sun Kong rolled a Sun Kong on his deck save.
Of course he did.
I was gonna say he rolled an of course.
Yeah. He rolled a monk.
Chemo, please roll me 1d6 minus 2.
I don't like that. What does that mean?
So we can get a negative number. Especially with Kyle rolling, it's a 0.
No! Just say God, no!
None of the Dark Trine members from your activities in pushing them out are able to pierce through the shell this turn.
Okay.
It rolls back at the top. Ringcast.
3 shots with a 30-foot cone of necrotic damage from my shotgun.
Finish off the ones I burnt ahead of us. That was like a 25 by 25 foot explosion, so they should be kind of weak.
That's a 23.
Do your damage. And
That is it's a nice 22 to everything in front of me, immediately in front of me, and then whatever you feel is fair past that. If you just want to take 2 of those.
A number of them are taken by their injuries. Actually, well, a number of them take injuries. 1 or 2 of them fall, as Aesop mentioned from the previous burns of one of his weapons that he tossed at them previously.
Alright, another shot. For ruling's sake, I know it's a mass and a horde. If you feel at any point I deserve a grit point for slaying a creature, I mean, I don't want to say I roll with advantage on every attack because I'm shooting a mob. But anytime I slay a creature, I get a grit point back, and I've used one. So at any point you feel it's fair. If not, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
This is your Rambo moment, man.
23. That is 18 up front.
Okay. Anything else?
And the last one. That's a 16 to hit.
You are able to pierce less of them with a shot.
It reflects in the damage.
You are still able to down one of them and get a point of grit, however.
Alright. That's 7 up front and a mitigated amount for the rest of them. That is it.
Excellent. Glacé.
Alright, I'm going to Frenzy Bolt at level. We're gonna do level. Sorry, we'll do level 3. So 2 will come out.
Hypothetically, this could kill the whole army if you got really, really lucky.
Okay. So let's do this. Let me roll for the first one. I'm just gonna shoot at the things in front of us. We'll save this one, sure.
Immeasurable amounts of targets all around.
Well, the first one is there's a 20.
20 is going to hit.
It takes 18 random damage.
It is cold damage, and you watch as one of them is just spiked in the face with a blast of freezing cold. This mound of ice that breaks its neck as it flies backwards.
Alright, that bolt stops there. The second one is going towards... That's another one.
Ooh. Uh-oh. I already have one bad boy card. That one's gonna go a little off.
I give Invitti Bardic Inspiration and I'm done.
Okay. Chemo. Please, if you want to move forward, give me another action to move with a strength athletics check.
Hey.
Oh! Spicy.
That push.
That's a good push.
For what it's worth, he's got stupid amounts of speed, too. He's got 45 movement speed.
He does, but it's not incredibly helpful here.
Yeah.
To...
He can take more powerful steps, is what I would argue.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want someone who is strong to be able to try and push through this mass. You're able to push ahead 3 spaces.
Nice.
the just sheer number of them begin to fill in behind you.
Eh.
Anything else, Chemo?
Nope.
Okay, and Vidi.
Vidi is going to hold Eldritch Blast in case anything breaks through the barrier. Try and push them back out. While maintaining concentration on the wall of fire.
Okay. Va.
I'm gonna magical ambush and do a thunder wave again. This time, everything has disadvantage on the con save.
Oh, nice.
I was hidden. So, same 15-foot square in front of me has to make a DC 17 con save at disadvantage. Because I was sneaky, hiding behind the big old monster.
You get the feeling that that will not work again.
Oh, they're watching for it now.
But a number of them are taken by surprise as you kind of quickly shift up ahead again and fire off arcane bolts that shock into them.
Yeah, they take 13 damage and they're also pushed 10 feet.
Nice, you're able to push them back some. Anything
I
else,
hide
Bob?
behind. Yep, I hide behind Rikaz.
Okay. Aesop.
Seeing what Fa's doing, Aesop is going to, using one of his extra arms, just chuck a thunder bomb right here, which is basically the same thing. It's basically Thunder Wave.
Okay.
So let me... Impact Bomb, that's what it's called. Well, it's going to be a 13 to hit, but I imagine I hit the ground at least.
It will connect with the ground, that's right.
Alright. Well, it only does 8 damage, but everything that fails a DC 18 Dex save is pushed 10 feet away, which is the main thing I'm doing this for.
Okay. It catches a couple of them off guard, and they're pushed away.
Cool. That's all for Aesop Sun Kong. Same plan, past interference if any of them get in. Try to
Makes
push them
sense. Gotcha. And VD, for Jira, anything special?
Jira's gonna just do more of the same. Stay next to Kirmo, hold a touch spell.
Okay. Diedrich and the group continue to do their fair share along with you. There's way too many of them to go through them individually. We'll just say that they're all participating while the core members of the consortium, or the Eyes of Aurora, are continuing to surround Chemo and Gizzlebolt as they push ahead. I also now, as a number of arrows, a volley pierces through, everyone give me another dex save, please. And starting with Aesop, let me know what you get. Also, Bay.
Yeah?
Nothing. Never mind. Forget it.
Got her! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Yeah.
What you got? Aesop.
16.
Okay. Aesop. Evasion only works if you make the roll, right?
Correct! But
Okay.
half damage on fail. So if
You-
I failed, I take half damage.
You
now.
take 7 points of piercing damage.
I can deal with that.
Lasse?
26.
Lasse, you take half of this. 11. So, what is that? 5? 6? 6 points of piercing damage.
And then I roll for con
On
again.
check.
Ooh boy. I'm going to use my inspiration again. Or, well, my actual inspiration on this. I'll get rid of it later. It won't. There we go. Alright, goodbye.
Goodbye.
20.
You got it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're fine. Very good. Rinkaz.
9.
Oh, buddy. You take 15 points of piercing damage.
Easy.
And Vidi.
Vidi rolled 16 again.
And Vidi, you take 17 points of piercing damage. Fa/Chemo. You're on mute. Is that 24 and 20 for both of them?
Yeah, 24 and 20. Mock chemo.
You guys are able to shift out of the way with your evasion.
You want a dex save for Jiro on these or no?
Actually, yes, please.
Okay, he rolled a 20 this round. I can roll one for the last round if you want.
That's okay. That's my fault. So you only do it for this round. He takes half of 23 points.
He's poofed. He's only got 7 HP.
All right.
What's the point of even going on? We should just let him kill us now.
You guys also see a number of the members of both the consortium and the eyes, who are the heads of the consortium, are taking an arrow to here and there, but they're maintaining.
Nice.
Gax sort of yells as a arrow or crossbow bolt pierces his shoulder, and he just grabs it and just tears it out, roaring and throwing it to the ground.
What's he using as a weapon?
He has both a scimitar and a pistol.
Oh my.
Okay, with that, Chemo, please similarly roll me a d6 roll -2.
Low rolls, low rolls.
Kyle rolls. Kyle rolls. Let's go. Kyle rolls.
4.
See, the second we knew that high roll,
was wrong. That's the way it goes.
Please roll me 4 d20.
Whoa.
There's the Kyle rolls.
Will
Click.
you please let me know what the individual rolls of those were?
5, 14, 10, and 3.
Okay, hang on just a second here. Hang on a minute. So 5, you said the next one was 14.
Yeah. 10, and then 3.
Okay. Sorry, I'm doing some background stuff. Hang on. 10. And the final one was a 3. Okay. Appearing in each of the 4 corners of the sphere, troops of the Dark Trine pierce through, 4 of them. Each of the cardinal directions of the sphere itself. They will go last as they use their turn essentially to push through.
does Sun Kong get his held action?
Those of you who had held actions, they immediately go off.
All right.
Can I pick who I shoot at or no? Do Sun Kong first.
You
Yeah,
guys,
Sun Kong gotta roll
assumed the
for this
targets.
guy.
Yeah, the trigger for you guys was anybody pushing through, so whoever you want.
Yeah. Sun Kong runs here and tries to push him out.
If you want to push them out, please. There's no shove check in 5e, is there?
There is a shove actually. It's athletics opposed by I think their athletics.
Okay, fair enough.
Just double
Or
check.
acrobatics.
Or acrobatics.
So
Okay.
almost like a grapple check then.
Yeah, I think it's exactly the same.
Okay.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Shove. Winning. Okay, no, it's just athletics.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
And for Sun Kong. Oh, that's acrobatics. Ignore that. There we go. Well, not much difference.
You just run up and you just soccer kick the Neogi back out of the shell.
Team Rocket thing. You just see.
Nvidi.
I remember these to be spellcaster ladies. I want spellcaster lady to be shoved out.
You see her flicking a free hand out. You see some type of arcane magic permeating from her fist as she enters the sphere. Go ahead and make your attack.
Nice.
25 versus AC.
Get the fuck out.
That's gonna hit.
It'd be 14 force and push back 10.
You watch as she is thrown back into the mass. Ahead
Do
or behind.
do I get 2 more because I cast 3 of them at the same time?
I don't think
they're individual
that's how ready
target.
action works.
No. Okay.
Or is it 3 at once with a single attack?
It's 3 on the single attack.
So technically Eldritch Blast is a spell, so it would be all 3 rather than a held attack action. But there's some dispute about that online, so it's up to DM discretion.
If you want to say no, we could just do 1.
The spell
Look.
makes 3 attacks.
Yeah. I'll
Magic
post.
missile makes 3 missiles. That's all I'm saying.
If that's how the spell functions, and considering that you guys are up against a difficult encounter here, I will allow you to fire the extra 2.
Yeah, it creates 3 beams when you cast
Yeah,
it.
Makes
so.
sense.
All right, we'll do Wolf Boy here next to Twee.
Sure.
26 versus AC.
That's gonna hit. He is
Okay.
thrown out.
And then
Come on, make it 3 for 3.
Barbarian Man 15 versus AC.
That unfortunately catches his armor but doesn't connect to push him out.
Okay.
You have bardic inspiration.
I can add that on the attack.
Yeah. If you want.
Oh yeah, definitely. How about an 18 versus AC?
That'll hit.
Hey!
He's thrown back out. Okay. Brinkeyes, you're up.
I'm going
The
to keep
tunnel of fire up ahead has been held together. Also, did you make a con check in BD from taking arrow damage? I
Yes,
think
it
you
was.
did. You're good. Okay.
It was an 18 con
Yeah,
save.
you're fine. The walls persist, and you can watch as the number of forces of trying within that narrow passage dwindles somewhat. It's going to be easier to push through if you can maintain it. So, Rinkaz, you're up.
3 shots with the Reaper.
Okay.
Does the 13 hit?
No. That unfortunately misses nearly all of them.
And I'm going to use a point of grit on this one. It's a good thing I did. Does 16 hit?
It catches 1 or 2 of them.
Once again reflected in the damage.
That's a 10 up front and whatever to the back rows.
Gotcha.
And the last attack. Wow. Nope.
Yeah,
Not a-
unfortunately, you can see it connecting with stuff in the mass, but it doesn't seem to be puncturing them as you wanted it to. It's catching armor and some of the ground and stuff like that. Not vital areas that you'd like.
That's it then.
Okay, Glacé.
Yeah!
Your wall of fire continues to burn hot in the distance.
I'm going to throw another bardic inspiration on Inbidi. And I am going to do I'm going to throw a fairy fire in front of us.
Ooh, daddy like.
So, oh, I can't. That's concentration. I am not going to do that. I am very sorry. Psych. I'll just do another frenzied bolt.
Okay. I'm going to have the first attack take disadvantage.
It's a waste of my spell slot. Can I hold an action instead?
I mean, technically no.
All right. I'll no. Can I instead of doing that, can I hold an action to do what Sunpong did?
Were you gonna cast it before I pulled the card out?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's
Okay.
do that. Oh, was it a good boy card? I wasn't or bad boy. Whatever.
It was-
I'll do it.
it was a bad boy
sure.
card.
Yeah. Whatever.
Other button.
Okay. No, I'm done.
Oh. Did you roll for both of them?
Oh, let's see if I can get a 1. Yeah, sure. No.
Okay.
I only use a spell slot where it's 1 anyway, so
But it creates 2 bolts, and you would have to roll to see if you hit with both of them, right?
No. That's
She
if
only
I
cast
cast
it
it
at level
at a higher.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm just making sure. Gotcha. Unfortunately, those go a little bit wide. Anything else, Glossy?
No?
Okay. Chemo, you're up. I'm not trying to punish you, Glossy. I'm actually just using the bad luck cards whenever they could trigger to get them out of the way. Chemo! The ground beneath you shifts as you continue to try to push with your feet to get the group forward. If you don't mind giving me a strength athletics check.
Oh. Goo.
What's the... Oh, you're using...
Oh!
Okay. Okay.
He's on mute.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I
Wow,
said
Kyle.
I can feel a failure coming. I'm using inspiration. And then I said I can sniff them out, can't I, boys?
That ain't no lie.
It was easy. See, it worked twice, and that pushes my rules of success way above what they should be.
Move ahead 1, 2, 3 spaces ahead. You are nearing the wall of flame.
Oh, this is great. This is great. I yell back, everyone scoot in! Get close like!
Anything else, Chemo? Okay. NVD.
Okay, I can dismiss that wall at any
we're
time, correct?
we're gonna keep going. Don't
Right.
dismiss it.
So I'm gonna keep it up because I can dismiss it later when we need it to come down, right?
It's
Yeah,
a free action to dismiss it.
Yeah, you don't need to
If you
dismiss it. We're
want.
just gonna go into it. We're gonna squish together and go into it.
Okay, so I'll do. It was successful last time. I want to hold the Eldritch Blast again.
Probably not a bad
anybody
idea.
breaks in.
Okay.
Does
Oh,
anybody
sorry.
look?
Or-
You said everybody looks like they're okay and healthy, right?
You guys are taking damage, and similarly, the other group of consortium are taking damage. But you do notice, almost as though there are 2 groups of you, that while you guys are taking care of yourselves, Perennial, Abloom, and Twee are also using healing magic to tend with the consortium members.
Okay.
So they probably don't need your magic to heal them per se. You can just focus on your group.
And our group looks okay
For now.
for now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Pass. Other than that hold action,
Okay, Bob.
please. Thanks.
So I go run up and do Thunderwave. DC 17 comes in.
Okay. I'm doing all public rolls, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, just to make things fair.
You get fucked.
Quite a few of them fail.
They take almost no damage, but they get pushed 10 feet.
That is helpful. That adds to the amount of potential ones to push in, so that's always helpful. Anything else, Fa?
I'll run away and hide.
Aesop.
Aesop is going to throw another impact bomb, but this time it's going to be here because I want to knock some of them into the wall of fire.
Okay.
So centered kind of on this armor guy here. I'm going to throw
Sure.
it. I'm going to throw it with advantage. So I'm going to roll an extra
Oh, shit.
d20 after the macro that I'm about to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, definitely. After
Cool.
that.
Shit.
Boom! All right.
Oh,
All right.
shit,
And
shit,
I'm just. This is gonna be the only time I crit this fight, so I'm gonna dump the last of my fucking infusions
Take
in this.
here. Take one of those, buddy.
Yeah, give me. Where is it? Where is
Oh,
it?
I gave it to
I
you.
wanna. I know. I wanna look at it. What does it say?
You've had a pretty good
Oh,
day.
that's a good one. All right, so I'm gonna put the rest of my blood vials in this. I fucking throw it. It deals, God, 3d8 more plus 8d8 more, so it deals 11d8 more damage than this.
That's Bertin number. That's not good. 78.
Holy crap.
That's a giant explosion. I must have hit one of their grenades or something for 72 thunder damage.
Yeah, swaths of them are either immolated by that blast or thrown into the wall of fire and torn apart, burned alive.
I'd like a free action to fist bump Aesop.
I take one of my 4 fists and fist bump him.
That's weird.
Yeah. Get used to it.
Flaw spins around and looks at her hands and she says, "Dude, did you guys see me do that?"
He thinks you
else,
don't know
Aesop?
your own strength. No, and Sun Kong runs interference.
Okay, gotcha. The rest of the group holds tight. A volley of arrows comes down. Everyone give me another dex save, please.
Nice.
Aesop, total?
17.
17. You take 23 points of piercing damage.
But half
But
of that.
half of that. You're right.
Oh god. That's a lot of damage still, though. It's still like
That's
12.
a lot of damage.
Still 12 damage after that. And
I'll
I
say.
just hit back on my browser instead of... Cool.
14.
14. You take 19 points of piercing damage.
Here, now roll that con.
Ringkaz. Oh, let's see the con first.
11.
You are good. I think it's what is it? It's either
It's half of what she took. So
half
she's
of what
good.
she took or a base of like 10, right? DC 10?
Yeah, she's good.
Okay, you're fine. Ringkaz, what your total? Sorry.
That's a natty 1.
Oh, my friend. My pal. You take 11 points of piercing damage, but please roll a 1d6.
God, Aesop took more and he has evasion.
Yeah, I took more health evasion than the
Sure, no.
direct hit.
You don't take an injury. I'm sorry. You don't take an injury. But I get a bad boy card. You only take an injury when the enemy crits on you, as it kind of crashes into a lethal portion of your body. Nvidia, you're up next. What'd you get?
I got an 18 save.
Hey, not too bad. Pretty high, but you still take 24 points of piercing damage. Chemo.
It's a 15 and a 23.
Okay. Who was the 15?
Fuck.
They take half of 15 points of piercing damage. Chemo is able to shift out of the way with his evasion.
Sweet.
I gotta roll.
Yeah, let's get that concept.
It is a 20.
Okay, you're fine. You guys are maintaining concentration. That's awesome. Chemo, please give me a 1d6 minus 3.
Negative number. There we go. -2.
Whoa!
Holy fuck. No one pushes through this round.
In fact, 2 of them decided to just fuck off.
They don't pay me enough for this, see?
Ringkaz, you're up.
8 million people around you.
I'm gonna keep on firing.
Okay, I'm going to do this to you. Give me a negative d10 after you make one of your rolls.
Alright, I'll do it on the first then.
Yeah.
Well, that's a natty 1.
Oh, whoa.
It's D10.
That's super bad.
Oh, he recharges his bad boy
I'll
card
replenish my bad
immediately.
boy card.
Oh no!
Ah, in the process of... Oh, man. Alright. That,
It goes wide, unfortunately.
I can use an attack action to repair my weapon, which I have to.
Yeah, you
Just
hear a
misfire
click.
score.
Yeah.
It repairs. That's a wasted attack. I attack a third time. 25.
That's gonna hit some folks.
That's so that's a lot of math. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 24. 24 up front, and anyone else in the back, whatever you feel is fair.
Give me a high or low 1d20.
We'll go low like my rolls tonight.
Okay.
He says after an 8, a 6, an 8.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And all this green in the chat. Give me that d20 roll.
Oh, me? I thought you were
Yes,
asking for it.
please.
My apologies.
That's okay.
So 13.
Unfortunately, you are able to pelt the group in front of you, but not down any of them to get a point of crit.
That is cool.
But you still do damage to them. Anything else? Recast?
That's it.
Alright. Lasse.
Lasse is going to hold an action to protect. Can I do a bonus action if I hold an action?
I think that just sort of like stores your action, so I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do a bonus action.
I'll give Chemo a bardic inspiration.
Yeah, you
so...
can just do your bonus action first, and then just say you hold your action.
So Nvidi and Chemo both have bardic inspirations, and I'm done.
Nice. Very nice. Chemo! Let's see what you can do to press ahead, buddy.
Did you call me honey?
Buddy?
Oh.
Come on, honey.
We hear what we want to hear. Man, these rolls are hot.
Yeah, this is pushing ahead pretty nicely. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That's 1, 2, 3. You push up ahead. You are right at the crux of the narrow flame walls. You can feel the heat, Rinkaz and Aesop up ahead. Anything else, Chemo?
Nope.
Nvidi.
Bonus action. Lasse, more heat. I'll throw some healing to her.
Oh.
Sure.
Look like you're around half.
I am.
Bonus.
Almost.
Lasse turns to you and smiles with a missing tooth.
Please heal for 17.
Thank you.
And I will hold my Eldritch Blast again in case anybody busts through.
Alright, very good. Fa.
Does the same thing she did before. DC 17. Can't save from me.
Quite a few of them make it.
This time, those who didn't got an extra little lash. I've just outcast this at 3d8. For a total of 8!
What's the Jeopardy on? You see some of them jolt from your spell going off, but less than you anticipated.
They're also pushed in.
Gotcha. You are still able to push some of them back, yeah.
Hide behind the dinosaur.
Alright, Aesop.
Well, now that they're all like within crowding range, I'm just gonna throw another impact bomb right in the middle of them and try to them into the wall of fire.
Sure. Hey, your bombs. They found their impact here.
We just need to be fighting hundreds of enemies, so I can't foreseeably miss in any capacity. That's another crit!
Holy shit.
I don't get another good boy card. I'm sad. I can't believe it. I can't believe I crit twice in a row.
And what's the damage look like though? 16 force?
It's gonna be 16 force. It's gonna be 30 force damage. So
Holy
less
shit.
than half of the previous one because I used all my juice on it, and pushes them back. I want to
Awesome.
I want to make it so I get as many of them pushed into the fire as I can.
You guys can just see, even though you may not be able to see across just the shoulders of the mound ahead of you, you can see the light of the flames kick up and the roars of creatures being pushed into the flames from the impact of your bomb, Aesop.
Aesop fades back to here, and not even looking at Glace, one of his extra wing arms takes out a greater drops of healing, pops it, and pours it on Glace's head.
Oh.
I can do that as a bonus action because of my alchemy thing.
Yeah.
Actually, greater drops are a bonus action anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. Take another 7 health back. All right, so Sun Kong is going to try to do something that I think is in character. You let me know if he thinks this works, Jason.
Sure.
So Sun Kong's got that thing
try
where he can catch arrows as a reaction. He wants to use his action, his bonus action, his reaction to stand right next to Glace and try to catch any that are going to hit her, even at expense of hitting himself.
Okay. I'll say that you can forego saving the damage from Sun Kong.
Oh yeah.
To instead use your save to benefit Glace, almost like an advantage on a saving throw.
That's totally in. But can he also do the reaction where he catches the arrow?
If he's able to if he's able to roll high enough to catch it and rebound, you can also do that.
Cool.
You're essentially just sacrificing your own save to give it the Glace.
That sounds like Sun Kong to a T. I'll do that.
Okay. Awesome. Diedrich and the others hold steady. You watch as Perennial Bloom throws up her hands and healing comes out. Gaxomax turns and points up in the sky and yells,
"Look out!" And
as you all look up, you see a massive meteorite that connects into the ground over here in the mountainous mound to the right of you. The loud sound of an explosion erupts as debris and rocks is thrown in the air. You see a mass of boulders heading towards your shell. A number of them rebound and are thrown off, but large chunks pierce through from just the sheer volume, as it just looks like it almost looks like an ocean wave that's just made of rock from the sheer impact. Everyone, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit, okay.
I'm gonna use a point of luck.
Okay.
Oh, Aesop, beautiful bastard. Saving all your good rolls for the season finale, Jesus.
Aesop, what was your save?
Like 27.
27, you have evasion, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You're able to shift out of the way as a huge piece of boulder shifts past you.
Sick.
Glace, 18, pretty good. Sun Kong, go ahead and roll for Glace as well.
Oh, sure. 17.
Okay. Now, what is the text that says you can grab and throw it back?
So it mitigates the damage that she would take. So you roll the damage, and then he rolls to negate some of that damage. That's how that spell works.
Okay.
And if she doesn't take any damage, then
you can.
He doesn't use the thing. Well, no. If she is already not taking damage, there's no throw for me to do. Like I don't have to grab anything because.
So here's the incoming damage.
Oh. What?
44. As a massive boulder pierces through the shell.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Well, I'm definitely gonna try to reduce some of that damage. I'm glad we healed up.
Stop. You rolled exploding dice. You rolled a 16 and 11.
What?
Oh, shit. Oh, you did roll exploding dice.
Oh. I just did the advanced roll. That's weird.
Trying to kill Glace off, huh?
Let's just do roll 6d10. Yeah, that's weird. I'm just using the dice roller here. 28 points.
Oh, okay. I don't think he can negate all of it, but he can negate a lot of it.
Yeah.
22.
Ooh.
6 is good.
Sun Kong catches the giant boulder.
Now, hold on. If you match the damage to reduce it to 0, doesn't that kick in the deflecting attack where you can grab it and toss it back?
Well, he's just trying to prevent the damage to Glace. I don't care about throwing it back. I was trying to keep her from dying or losing concentration.
Sure. But we'll say, but that's what triggers it, right?
Yeah, it has to beat the damage, which this time it didn't.
But it was 22, right, to reduce it?
Yeah, but she took 28, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. I was misreading. That's still a negation of a lot of the damage. So Glace, you only take 4 points of damage.
Yeah.
But your con is cut off.
Okay, well, it got us here. That's the
Yes.
important thing. We got
One
here.
of the walls dissipates. However, Glace, with your wall up, your teammates were able to fling a number of opponents into them, helping you guys push forward.
Yeah, that was definitely.
Chemo, I'm sorry, let me keep going in order of the way I see you guys on here. Brinkaz, what was your save?
24.
24, nice. You take half of 30. Oh, hang on. Let me roll.
Stop trying to kill us,
60,
Jason.
10.
What are you doing?
That's weird. You take half of 27. Invidi.
VD saved 9.
Invidi. You take a full 33 points.
You also have Bardic spell.
Yeah, that's for the save I'm about to
of
do.
bludgeoning damage.
Thank you. 19 on the save. Concentration.
If only barely at saves.
Man, that is like right on the cusp, isn't it? 33 divided by 2, 16.5. Holy shit, Invidi, you saved.
Nice.
Nice. But you do take 33 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
Fall/chemo.
Fall/chemo. They're good.
Holy shit.
They both pass. That's a 27 and a 29.
There's a good boy card for whoever rolled the natty 20. And I'm sure that 19 is above 20 overall.
Yeah, it's 27 and 29 respectively.
With evasion, you guys are able to shift out of the way. There is dust in the air. It is incredibly difficult to see, although you are all able, without needing to make a check, able to see a massive shadow beginning to shift higher and higher into the air from the impact of the comet landing. You all watch as the dust clears and see to your right, standing on top of the crater that was once the hill, a Tarrasque.
Huh.
Great.
Huh.
Hope it doesn't see us.
We killed one before, right, guys?
Do we have any way to go faster?
Must go faster. Must go faster.
We've been taking it at an easy pace for now. Let's just keep that up. No, we don't. We're going as fast as we can.
Hang on just a second here. There we go. A Tarrasque appears. You watch as it stamps some of the dark trying underneath it as it roars. They are quickly trying to just shift out of the way. Some of them unable to even pull themselves up from being injured from the unmitigated impact of the blast that happened next to them. The Tarrasque stands up and roars and connects eyes with all of you and your bright shiny shell.
But look at all the other things that aren't in a bright shiny shell.
Brinkaz, you're up.
Guys, what are we doing here?
Running, we're running.
We have to keep running.
Alright, firing forward.
Yes. Yes.
Massive amounts of necrotic damage. 18.
That is going to connect with a few of them, yes.
That's a 19 to the front crowd.
Nice, nice. You tear some of them down.
It's 24. It's 11 to the front crowd.
Nice.
It's a natty one again. Fantastic.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
I already have a bad boy card for you.
Alright, gun jams on that. I'll use my attacks next round to switch it up.
Alright. You're able to fire into the crowd and do some damage. Glacé. And VD's wall is still up on his end, which is probably more advantageous than over on the other side, at least.
Can I try wind wall in front of us?
Sure. Anything to help try and push back the sheer volume of trying in front of you.
Alright, when the wall appears, each creature within its area must make a strength saving throw. Okay. So, in front of us, straight in front of us, I'm gonna create a wall that is going to be 50 feet long, 15 feet high, 1 foot thick. And I'll draw that, I guess, in a moment. It's gonna be just short of Invidi's. So it's DC save 18, strength save.
Quite a number of them are going to fail.
Nice.
Well, they take bludgeoning damage, so on a or half as much on a save.
So go ahead and roll the damage.
It's 15. It's in there.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
And lightweight materials like arrows can't go through that wall. Just FYI, I don't know if it's important. I'm done. Oh, and I give a bardic inspiration to... I'll save it. Nobody needs it right now. I'm done.
Nice. Okay. You watch as this massive wall, this torrent of wind forms in front of you. You can hear the shifting and violent nature of the winds up ahead, and you watch as some of the volley of arrows that's being fired at your shell are diverted and thrown further, descending down more quickly than anticipated by the Dark Trine, actually cutting into some of the other members who are around the wall. They screech and some of them collapse. Anything else, Glacé?
Oh.
Alright. Chemo!
Chemo's gonna push on with the bardic inspiration.
Ah, yes. Good.
18.
Nice!
Nice. Grab this here. With an 18, you move up 2 spaces. Beginning to push into the wall of fire up ahead.
Make sure little Twee buddy is out of range of that.
Yeah, he's going to shift in a little bit. Anything else, Chemo? And BD.
Am I keeping the wall? Yeah. Okay. Bonus action, healing light on myself. I'm gonna heal 19. Add half of that as temporary hit points because I receive magical healing.
Nice.
That's rounded down, right?
Rounded down.
Okay. And I will hold Eldritch Blast in case anything gets through.
Sounds good. Fa.
Alright, so I stopped doing the roll for hiding, but I was legitimately trying to, and now that I've got a new target, I think I can justify getting a magical ambush on him from the
I
side.
will say once. Well, give me your check. Let me see your
Okay.
check.
So this is a retroactive check.
Yes.
D20 plus 8. So her hide check is 24 to hide. Nice. So, Fa looks up and says, "Nice big eyes you have. Be nice if something, it would be bad if something, shut up, you can't see me!" And throw a bunch of, little magnets in the air, and they try and shock his eyes as I cast blindness on him. He has to make
hell yeah.
unfortunately, DC 17 con save, but
Oh,
it is a disadvantage.
fuck.
It's a disadvantage.
It is a disadvantage.
Something tells me that.
I know, it's
Good.
my only... I had to do an early Hail Mary, and then I'll do a better play next time.
Risky. First check. Second check.
Oh,
maybe.
got a plus 13.
That's a total of 14. However, the Tarask
This is
shifts
Fucking-
out of the way and smashes them with its tail using a legendary resistance.
okay. We gotta fucking go, bro.
Oh, fucking legendary resistance. Half my turns end with. But that's it.
All right, Aesop.
Which way is the wind blowing?
Glace, which way do you have the wind blowing?
Outward, like it's going.
Oh, okay, so we still have our alleyway to go through.
Yeah.
Same deal. Impact bomb. Fucking fuck. Dang old go.
Dang, I'll go.
Oh, that's is that right? Yeah, that's right. 27 to hit, 19 force damage. Targets pushed 10 feet away. Same deal. Same thing. Same thing I've been doing.
There is a loud blast, and you watch as some of the Trine are caught in Glace's torrent and tossed like ragdolls around. You also watch as some of them are thrown back into Invidi's still burning wall of flame, and they are just immolated in it. Good job, Aesop.
Okay. Everyone is not dying. I give a greater drops of healing to Ringkaz. Past her.
Sun Kong.
Fucking A, what is he gonna do in this situation? He's gonna do the thing he did for Glace, but for Invidi this time.
Sure.
Ringkaz, you gain 7 HP.
Woo, thank you.
Anything else for Sun Kong?
No, he's spending his whole turn. He's gonna try to block for Invidi.
Okay. You hear Gaxomax as you turn, seeing him holding onto his phone as he says,
Those crazy bastards.
and he appears to be looking up. As you all look up, it's difficult to almost see because above you is just like a torrent of raining fire from the Dark Trine. However, through the volley of arrows and other things that come crashing down, you guys are able to see, hang on just a second here. There is a ship shifting down. It's descending quickly. It looks like it's taken some pretty considerable damage. There is one side of it that is practically lit aflame. It seems to be diving low towards the Tarask. It's difficult to make out what it is through the just complete hellfire of volley of arrows. However, in the distance you hear a voice. Hold!
Oh!
Hold!
Roy!
Now drop! He says. And you also hear, quickly, pull us back up! There is a shadow that is launched off of the ship and begins to descend. There is a loud crash next to you. It throws debris your way, but not enough to pierce through your shield, as a massive pair of wings extend out, and it lands with a considerable less amount of force. Standing in front of the Tarask now, you all see what appears to be a massive insect-like creature.
Bionoid shit. Maybe.
Whoa! Yeah, it looks pretty bionoidy to me.
Sun Kong turns to you all and says, Roshi told me that was Tarion. He must have found his own spirit warrior. He's going to distract the Tarask so we can push through.
Aww.
You watch as the massive insect-like creature, made of this almost emerald-like reflective green. The number of appendages on it is about 4, 2 insect-like arms from its chest, but extending out as its main pair of arms are a large mantis-like size that it begins to drill into the Tarrasque as it roars, and its attention is pulled to the larger creature standing next to it now, drawn and locked into combat with it. A
Sick.
number and volley of arrows still begins to pierce through the shell. Everyone please make me another dex save.
Sun Kong's gonna do the thing.
Aesop, what's your save? 16?
No, that's Sun Kong. My save's 21.
21. You, with evasion, dodge. Glacé.
22.
Oh, nice. You take, let's make sure this isn't exploding. It is.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's really weird. Oh, that's...
I want the exploding dice.
You take half of that, however, as piercing damage, because you saved. Rinkaz, what'd you get?
24.
Nice. You take... That's really weird that I have to roll this like this. 12 points of piercing damage. And Vidi.
BD saved 16.
Alright. You end up taking 14 points of piercing damage. I need a con save.
Hiya!
Also,
He takes
Glacé.
none.
Oh, what?
Right? You said I could do that.
Oh,
The-
what?
Catching the arrows for Nvidi.
Oh,
that's what
you're...
Sun Kong was
okay,
doing.
okay. Then,
So
yeah,
tech-
you're able to...
So technically, he would take damage too. Sun Kong would.
Sun Kong will take damage. Also, did I roll for Sun Kong for the
I don't
boulders?
think you did roll for the boulders.
Let
on
me
Sun
do
Kong.
that now. Glacé, let me go in order though. Glacé, you took some damage. Can I have a con check?
It's 10.
You make it. And let's do a boulder roll for Sun Kong. He takes 41 points of bludgeoning damage.
Doesn't he have evasion?
Oh, who? Okay.
He
All
does, but he used his save to give it
Yeah.
to Glacé.
Yeah.
And similarly, he's doing the same thing for Nvidi. So Nvidi, you are able to essentially dodge the damage from the arrow volley.
Worth it to keep Wall of Fire up, I think.
Yes. Fa, Kimo, what were your saves?
13 and 24.
Okay, 24 makes it. The 13 is going to take... Whoops. Typing. 17 points of piercing damage, halved, because you have evasion. And as for Sun Kong, you did save Nvidi. You take the full brunt of the arrows, though.
Haha!
But not a lot for 7 points of piercing damage.
Sun Kong lives again.
Can he use his tattoo to mitigate up to 8 on piercing?
Hey. I'm sure he
Yeah! He does that.
can.
1d8.
That's great.
Here comes that 7 or 8, because it's Sun Kong. Okay. Okay.
So, wow, a whole point of damage. Kimok, will you please give me a d6 -1 roll?
-1. Give me that 1. Give me that. Okay, 2's not bad.
And will you please give me 2 d20 rolls?
Oof.
Oh, triple 18s? Okay. Alright. Hang on just a second. We'll put 1 there. And 1 there. Pushing through are 2 massive pale-like creatures that pierce through the shell. They roar as they enter on all fours towards you all. Their skin is tight and furless, a number of eyes covered on their heads as they turn to you aggressively, ready to attack.
Can my action go on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do yours first? Or you want me to do mine first?
Oh, you can do yours first. I'm sorry.
Well, what was yours?
Just roll.
Okay.
What?
First attack, guy on the right. .25 versus AC.
25 versus AC is gonna hit.
Okay. 14 force, pushback 10.
He is, or it rather, is pushed out of the sphere.
Second attack, guy on the left. 29 versus AC.
It similarly is pushed out with a volley of Eldritch Blast.
Glosses.
Nice. No, that's nice. There's nothing to do.
Okay, Rinkaz.
It's 1 o'clock, Jason.
It is 1 o'clock. Do you guys want to wrap here?
Yes.
The issue is this is the finale. This is it. So we can do another session next week. But it's going to be a shorter one. Much, much shorter. You guys essentially have to just make it to the top here. And then we're done.
It's taken us an hour to get halfway there.
Oh, if everyone agrees, then we can hold it off. That's fine. I just want to make sure.
We can do a short one next week. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Then let's call it here. And let's reassume the trek through this mass of the Dark Trine next week for the finale.
Maybe Sun Kong will be here too.
This is also true, yes. Alright. Then let's call it there. Did you guys have fun?
These fucking Vespers, we're gonna get them.
Super intense.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, there's some things going on here. There's some stuff. There's some stuff at hand. We'll see how you guys fare next week.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Straight throwing the murder kill sticker up there. Thank you everybody for hanging out. I know that was an extended session. I really appreciate everybody for sticking around though. It's very nice of everyone to stop by. I really appreciate it. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Looney, the VIP, thanks for stopping in. Thank you, A10, Christian, Dinu. Thank you, Heroes, Lurks, Milty, Mr. There's just a guy named Mr. or a girl named Mr. Storcina, Sweet Hallie, the Gonzarelli, and Dark Sulks. I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with us. I know it was extended and went a little long. It's one of those things where I can't tell how long it's going to go, so I just have to, make sure that everyone's cool with it. So if you guys would feel more comfortable rapping here, I'm totally cool with that. And as you mentioned, Luke, that's also probably going to be an opportunity for Sun Kong / Kevin to be here to kind of finish things out. So we'll call it there and come back next week for what is the official finale of Season 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys missed any of this, if you want to catch up with any of it, that is all on our, like if you came in late or anything like that, it's all on our video on demand on Twitch, or if you prefer YouTube because it's easier to access, that's GAWD_mode. And that's the same thing for our Twitter handle. You should go follow that so that you can stay up to date if you want to. Make sure and check out when we do this or just get some fun stuff. Sometimes I show some sort of behind the scenes on there. We do giveaways on there too. And because next week is the end of the month, we'll be doing another giveaway there too. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, I really appreciate it. If you guys liked what you saw, please give us a follow. If you guys are followers, or even if you decide to sub up, you're actually getting a multiplier to the points that you get down in the Twitch channel points. So now that everyone is aware that next week is the finale, you guys may want to take a look at the points you build up and maybe buy some stuff for the crew to see if they can push through the last leg of the Dark Trine army here to reach the landing zone where the whale ship will be.
Literally push through.
Yes, quite literally. So I appreciate everybody for stopping by. As always, thank you so much. We're going to come back next week, same time, same place, and finish things up. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.